Ba-da-da-da-da. Welcome to the 2026 Sports Krunch NFL Draft live stream. I am your host, David Cromwell, joined by my right-hand man, Hal Bent. And Hal, I hate to sound like a broken record yet again, although I'm not quite sure I'm sounding that way right now, but we thought last year's draft, due to the small amount of elite prospects at the top and the huge glut of talent that lasted from, say, the mid-first all the way to the start of the third round or so. This year's draft, I think, fits that description even more, and that is a big reason why I think we're in for a wild ride tonight, regardless of whether there's a lot of trades or not.
Right. Regardless of those trades, I mean, we're looking at a situation where we have no idea where these teams' draft boards are. A lot of teams playing it very close to the vest as to what their intentions are. All the mock drafts that we've been digesting these last couple of months, so many of them, we know that they're, you see the writers and they're not as plugged in as they think they are for 32 teams, and they're reaching for need. And we know teams will go for that best athlete, sometimes the smarter teams and the best fits. So, yeah, it's wide open. No, after pick one, nobody knows what's happening. And that's what we love about it.
Yes, I have never felt more uncertain about a top 10 of the draft than I have about this one, and I am not kidding. And our man Jordan Reed at ESPN, and hang on, I'm going to get the screen sharing tool here. Unfortunately, I can't share. Yeah. Forgive me, Hal. I'm a rookie at managing this.
I got nothing to say. I got my audio set up 10 seconds before we went live. So
that is okay, Hal. But we're going to share a screen right now. And it's courtesy of our friend Jordan Reed at ESPN. He perfectly summed up the storylines for tonight and the things that he's looking for. Reese or Bailey at 2, while most people in the industry and insiders believe Bailey will be the pick. They have made clear that Jets GM Darren Muji has done an excellent job at keeping that pick very close to the vest. So we're not going to know for sure until Roger Goodell announces the pick there. And we'll get more into that when the Jets happen to be on the clock with that second overall pick. Who's the first tackle off the board and how many trades? Now, this is where those two questions roll into one here. There's been a lot of buzz over the past 48 hours or so that teams in the late teens and 20s that need a tackle are jockeying to jump the Lions at 17, who are an obvious tackle-needy team. And there's a good chance also, however, that the Lions preempt that by trading up themselves to secure that tackle. So if there are trades to be found in the draft, that I think is the most likely spot. What do you think?
I agree. I think tackles, I mean, that's one of those positions where, you know, we had talked on the draft trends talking about that earlier. And, you know, everybody needs them. You know, the list of teams that don't need a tackle in this draft is about 5. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of action, I think, moving around. Once there starts a little run on those tackles, it could be madness. And that's where I would expect to see the trades, the teams that have their guy, whether it's a Monroe, Freeling, you know, if that starts early in the early teens. I mean, Detroit is desperate for an offensive tackle. They have to come out of this draft with a starter in the first round. It's beyond a need at this point. So yeah, they're going to be one of those desperate teams looking to trade up.
Yes. So, but the point is, the Bucks at 15 and the Jets at 16 are taking calls from tackle-needy teams to potentially move down, and there's a good chance one of them is going to do so. But the Lions are going to try to preempt that by trading up the board even further to say Baltimore at 14, which could obviously trade back because that's their MO. And the Rams at 13 might be interested in trading back, as Jay Glazer himself said yesterday. So that's why those two questions fit the same theme there. And another thing Jordan brings up here, the Jeremiah Love landing spot. Yes, there's a lot of, it's been an inferno. It hasn't been smoke. It's an inferno, suggesting that if the Cardinals are unable to trade out of 3, Jeremiah Love is going to be their pick. However, they already have a lot of money invested at that position. In James Conner, they just paid Tyler Algier, who I love, by the way. He's very underrated. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how catastrophically dumb would it be for the Cardinals to take Jeremiah Love at 3? And it's nothing against the player. Jeremiah Love just very well may be the best overall prospect in this class, regardless of position. But as the positional value people are going to have something to say about that.
Yeah, the positional value, but I mean, best player in the draft. The Cardinals, they invested high on the wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr., which has not paid off for them so far. So they're going to need impact players on offense. And yes, they have needs everywhere. Defense, running back may not be a need, but running back is a position where you are churning, every 3-4 years. You reserve those second big contracts for the Saquon Barkleys of the world. You see that so many teams get into that running back with that next big contract, and it turns into an overpay, and they're looking to get out of there. And so Love is cost certainty for 5 years. You got him for that full prime. It's very hard to pass him up in that situation at number 3. And, David, one of the things I was thinking about recently, and I haven't heard, anyone talk about it, but the Jets at 2, with Breece Hall not signing his franchise tag, what are they doing? The best player in the draft is available to them at 2 in Jeremiah Love. The resources they could have gotten for Breece Hall, making a move on him earlier, there's no guarantee he wants to re-up with this franchise, especially if they're in the toilet again this year. He may be looking to leave after this franchise tag season. He may not want to work out an extension, and now they're back looking for a running back next year.
That is a good point, Hal, but Benjamin Albright, NFL insider, and I'm going to bring up his name at least several times tonight. He says that deal is expected to get done, that they're going to get that long-term deal done with Breece Hall because they clearly view him as the centerpiece of their offense, and they're prepared to pay him whatever he wants. And if money is good enough to keep Myles Garrett in Cleveland, it should be good enough to keep Breece Hall in East Rutherford, New Jersey, specifically with the Jets. So I should have said Florham Park because that's where the Jets facility is.
But exactly. Yeah. But I mean, is Breece Hall, age 25 to 29, going to be better than Jeremiah Love over the next 5 years, with Love making probably less money per season?
That is a very good point. And there's also this. Joel Klatt just said on the NFL Network pre-draft show before we went on the air, Hal, that Jeremiah Love is not just a great running back. He just might be the 3rd best pure slot receiver in this class. He is an all-around weapon. He's not just a running back. He's that rare breed. He is could easily be Jahmyr Gibbs 2.0. And we all know how important Jahmyr Gibbs is to that Lions offense.
Exactly. And, again, it's the most Jets-like thing to be sitting there and saying, well, we're all set at running back and, there's no assurances right now, but we think we've got it. That's the one position we're straight at. Yeah. So we'll pass up the best player in the league.
Yes. That is true, but a lot of people are wondering, Ash Ujeti drafting a running back that high, they're going to get PTSD from what he did last season, but that was due to no fault of Ash Ujeti. It was due to the fact the offensive line isn't set. So the Jeremiah Love landing spot is going to come in the top 5. And if I'm a team drafting him, the first question I'm going to ask is our offensive line ready to accommodate him? And if the answer is no, then I might have a hard time picking him because we're not going to get the results right away. And you need to get the results right away from a talent like that.
Exactly. Your clock's ticking on that 5-year deal as well. You need that instant, impact coming out of him there. And yeah, I mean, let's face it. Most of these teams picking in the top 5 aren't picking there because they're solid up front on on the offensive line, which is another reason that makes it difficult to draft that running back there. But where the Jets do seem to have their tackles of the future set, I mean, for a team that's pretty well set on the offensive line, they've got Tipman, good young guard over there, spent some money on the free agent guard. They've got their 2 young tackles. They like their Myers, their center. So there's a team where, again, I look at it and I say, nobody's talking about it, but they really might have blew their opportunity for the most impactful offensive player outside of Fernando Mendoza in this draft.
Hindsight will be 2020 going forward. We're going to have these last couple of years will determine whether or not you're right, but it will not be a surprise because there is risks with either David Bailey or Arvell Reese. And we'll get to that dilemma once the Jets are on the clock. And another point Jordan brought up is Jermon McCoy. Jermon McCoy, if it wasn't for his health, he would easily be the top corner in this draft class by far. That 2024 tape he had at Tennessee was the best corner tape of any college prospect in recent memory, save for maybe Pat Surtain coming into the league in 2021, or Derek Stingley and Sauce Gardner maybe. But Jermon McCoy, there is a real chance he's not going to get hear his name called tonight because the vast majority of teams have been apparently telling reporters that they are very worried about the longevity of his knee. But all it takes is one team. And if there's one team that's been getting potential buzz in terms of taking him in the first round, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Chargers I identify as a prime trade back candidate because they're obviously from the Ravens tree. They want to accumulate as many assets as possible. And if they could move slightly down the board to the tail end of the first round, I wouldn't be shocked out of my shoes if Jermon McCoy is their pick if this buzz is true.
No, I wouldn't be surprised either. And again, it's that whole situation of how much can you put into the medicals? How much faith do you have? Because we saw that last year with Will Johnson. It dropped all the way to 47, and Arizona got themselves a franchise cornerback in the second round last year. So that certainly looked like a move that their patience panned out well. And I think teams are going to be looking at, what happened with Will Johnson last year and saying, somebody may pull the trigger on him because he did have that cornerback one in the draft before that injury look at going on the previous season.
Absolutely. Even though Will Johnson did miss 5 games last year, every time he was in the lineup, he was very, very impactful for that Cardinals defense. And Jermon McCoy is even more athletic than Will Johnson. So there's a good chance that he gets picked earlier than where Will Johnson ended up going last year. And another thing Jordan brings up, will there be a defensive tackle pick? And that is a big reason why the Bengals did what they did by trading for Dexter Lawrence, because outside of Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles, there are no true game-changing defenders in this class. And both of them play non-premium positions. Defense, yes, I love good linebackers. I love good corners, whatnot, but it all starts up front. And there's no game changers up front in this draft class, depending on how you view Arvell Reese. And Arvell Reese is a quintessential hybrid player, as talented as he is. So they traded for a defensive tackle in Dexter Lawrence, who is better than almost any of the Trench's defenders in this draft. And in terms of the defensive tackles this year, the best defensive tackle is arguably Caden McDonald, and Caden McDonald is arguably a 2-down player. He'll probably never be a 3-down player, but he's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. And as Adam Schefter said, the NFL isn't crazy about next year's defensive tackle class either. So it'll be very interesting to see if any defensive tackles go tonight. Do you think we'll hear Caden McDonald's name go tonight? I personally have my doubts.
Yeah, I have my doubts with that as well. I mean, I think we're looking at a situation where we've got at least 7 offensive tackles, 6 or 7 edge rushers, if not more, going in the first round, and 5 or 6 wide receivers. So we're running we're getting low on spots already just from those 3 positions. And then you throw in Mendoza and Love in there as well. So, yeah, I don't think teams are going to be reaching for a 2-down player. We saw the teams reaching for some guys last year in the draft, and they didn't really get the bang for their buck, I think, that they were looking for.
Kenneth Grant.
Exactly,
13.
right there at 13. So, definitely did not get the bang for the buck. Walter Nolan was injured as well, but another one that was up there.
But Walter Nolan looked very promising when he was on the
did
field.
look very promising. It was just the health there for him.
Yeah,
so
of course.
But yeah, so I mean, I think the lack of those impact players, and that's really becoming a premium position on that defensive tackle. You're seeing the teams realizing what they can do with that interior pressure, and that's why teams are willing to make these moves for these big names, these big players here. And yeah, I mean, if they're not there in the draft, kudos for pulling the trigger there, Cincinnati. At least you've got a disruptor in the middle of your defense that you were not going to get with that number 10 pick if that was your need.
Yes, and the Bengals, they're out of excuses right now. If they don't make the playoffs and win a playoff game this year, that is going to raise a lot more questions about whether the future is tenable for Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, because Burrow wants to win. And if the Bengals can't do it after acquiring a player like Dexter Lawrence, when?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this move reeks of a little bit of desperation, and I understand it for them because, that's the franchise. And if he says, hey, pulls a Carson Palmer and says, I'm not playing in Cincinnati anymore, what are they going to do? You have no choice. You're done. You've lost your franchise quarterback.
And he's a local kid too. Well, not really. He's Athens, Ohio is in Eastern Ohio, but still, that's still pretty local in a state like that.
Exactly. Geographically in the United States, that's pretty local. So
yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
Yes. And another point that George brought up, if there is any storyline tonight that is going to feed the drama, trades or no trades, it is Ty Simpson. Earlier this week, guys like Peter Schrager and last night Daniel Jeremiah put Ty Simpson in the latter part of their mocks, but the Cardinals trading up from 34 into the tail end of the first to get Ty Simpson. But there could be even more to that. My man Benjamin Albright had the Cardinals trading back from 3 with the New Orleans Saints, a potential thing to watch when they're on the clock there. And the pick at 8, Ty Simpson.
Woo.
But this is why Ben probably did that. As Ian Rappaport reported today, when Ty Simpson was in the midst of deciding whether or not to enter the draft this year, his father, who is a college football coach, by the way, at a D2 school, he called Rams general manager Les Snead. And Les Snead told Ty Simpson's father that he thought Ty Simpson was a first-round talent. So let's say the Rams, as Jay Glazer said was possible, trade back from 13. They could take Ty Simpson a couple spots later for all we know. That is absolutely in the cards. So where Ty Simpson goes is a big mystery tonight. And Peter Schrager just set this out. And Schrager is as plugged in as anybody. He says that, quote, I had Ty Simpson going 32nd with the trade in my mock draft 2 days ago. Based on the volume of calls I received on Simpson today from teams I didn't expect, I think I was very off. So there is an excellent source of drama for this evening. But Ty Simpson is 6'1". He doesn't have jaw-dropping athletic traits, and he only started like 15 to 17 games or so in college. And quarterbacks that enter the NFL with that kind of resume don't pan out the vast majority of the time. But why do you think a team outside of quarterback desperation would want to make an investment in somebody like Ty Simpson?
I mean, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have that prototypical size. He doesn't have that prototypical experience that you're looking for. But that 1 year in Alabama, he looked so good. It's a spread scheme. It's a modern NFL type offense there, being run in Tuscaloosa. So you look at him. He had Jalen Milroe. He had Bryce Young ahead of him, patiently waited his turn, so he had his exposure. They've had some turnover at offensive coordinator, so he's seen different offenses to have to learn. So even though he didn't have the playing time in them, he had the learning to that offense as well. You talked about son of a longtime college coach. Factor that in as well. The head upstairs, and we've seen it so many times. The command of the huddle, the ability to process what you're seeing on the field sometimes can be more important than that arm strength. And that's why he has that, ceiling of NFL starter. And at this point, with this class of quarterbacks this year, especially after the expectations going into this year of what they'd be getting out of the quarterback position, yeah, I mean, he has enough tools to be QB2. And like you said, where he goes, pick a number, single digits, end of the middle of the first round, end of the first round, second round, nobody knows. And it's wide open, and it just takes one team to get that Dan Orlovsky love for him, and Ty Simpson will be off the board.
Yeah, the buzz on Ty Simpson these past several months, the two teams leaked him the most have been the Cardinals and the Rams. I know the Jets have entered the frame in recent days, but I think that's just a smokescreen saying to teams, hey, we're selling off the 33rd pick, come and get it.
Exactly. And really for the teams at the end of the draft, Miami at 30, New England at 31, Seattle at 32, I mean, they've got to be praying somebody's going to call them and say, hey, we got to jump ahead of Arizona and the Jets on day 2, the start of day 2, lock in that 5th year on Simpson and offer him a boatload of picks there at the end of the first round. So they've got to have their fingers crossed and be praying for one of those deals coming their way.
Yes, teams in the 25 to 32 range, starting with the Bears at 25 and obviously ending with the Super Bowl champs at 32, the Seahawks, they're probably praying for such an offer to come their way because Jordan Reed's final theme to look for tonight is surprise names picked. And I have a feeling we're going to hear several surprise names picked in that part of the first round because this draft from pick 20 all the way to the early 3rd round, the gap in talent is minuscule, if not existent. So we're going to hear a lot of unpredictable names called tonight that'll be perceived as reaches according to the Arif Hassan consensus board, which we'll share with you in just a minute. And there is one name that has been making the rounds in recent days as such a name, and that is versatile Arizona defensive back Trayden Stukes. Yes. Trayden Stukes, he's a freak athlete. He's a playmaker. A GM even told Adam Schefter that he likes Trayden Stukes better than Caleb Downs, for crying out loud. Because like as good as Caleb Downs is, he isn't necessarily the ball hawk that Trayden Stukes is. Turnovers are the great equalizer in this game, so to speak. So Trayden Stukes, yes, he's going to be 25 years old when the season starts, but if you see him as a safety, he could have a good 10-plus year career. And thus it shouldn't shock anybody if he sneaks into the tail end of the first round.
Right. I think a lot of people were looking at him primarily as, well, he's probably going to be a cornerback. He played a lot of cornerback in school, but when you start projecting him out as that multi-positional safety that you see NFL teams falling in love with, line him up as the nickel corner, line him up in run support, put him back into center field, move him all over the field, and somebody with the skills of Traden Stukes, the athleticism, ran that 4.3 something,
3-3.
4.3, yeah, at the combine. I mean, just jumps off the field with that athleticism. And I think, the defensive coordinators started getting to those general managers and saying, hey, guess what I can do? See what Seattle did with Emin Wari. Here's a guy. I can do the same thing with Traden Stukes. Let's get him in here into our system and see how that defense looks next year.
Yes. So would you, if you were to make a bet on Traden Stukes being selected tonight, would you be willing to make it?
I think I would. I think, there's a lot of teams in the 20s that could be looking at him for that safety position. Kansas City definitely looking for a safety at 29.
Jeremiah mocked Traden Stukes to the Chiefs at that spot.
Perfect there. And if he gets past there, Miami, safety position wide open along with every other position on the defense and offense in Miami. But New England looking for another safety. Yes, they signed Kevin Byard, but they need that long-term safety for the future as well.
Byard's only under contract for 1 year.
1 year. There we go. Yep. So those teams definitely have those openings there at the end of the first round. I would be shocked if he got past there.
And let's talk about some other potential surprise names we'll hear tonight. And one of them that has received an inferno of buzz in the past several days, UCF edge rusher Malachi Lawrence. Most of these edge rushers are normally day 2 talents, but because of the shortage of pure first round talents, they're going to go on day 1. And Malachi Lawrence could go as early as 20 to the Cowboys. So Malachi Lawrence is definitely another name to watch out for. And what other names should be watching out for, Hal?
Well, I mean, we've got a lot of edge rushers, like you said, that I think a lot of people coming into this draft had him as a day 2 guy. And we're going to see, somebody looking for that big edge rusher is going to overlook the age of Akeem Mesidor out of Miami. And he could be anywhere from 20 through the end of the first round, popping off the board, maybe even higher. Keldrick.
Mesidor and Keldrick Falk are expected, guys. I'm talking about unexpected names. And Jacob Rodriguez.
Right. There's a weak linebacker group this year in the draft, and a lot of teams looking to make up that linebacker position. There haven't been a strong draft of those linebackers, and teams have been devaluing them, and we're seeing that trend changing here. We're seeing that teams are valuing those linebackers. So after Sonny Styles, is it going to be Jacob Rodriguez? A lot of buzz about CJ Allen as well at that linebacker position. And then the drop off from there. There's 15, 20 teams with a need at inside linebacker, and there's not a lot of guys that are looking like a day 2 pick there.
Actually, there are a lot of day 2 linebacker picks. There's obviously Rodriguez, who I wouldn't be shocked or surprised if we hear his name called tonight. I personally think he's the best non-Sonny Styles linebacker in this class. Then you got Anthony Hill Jr., you got Jake Golday, Josiah Trotter. You got at least 4 backers. If they don't get their name called tonight, will probably get their name called tomorrow night. At least 4.
And again, more of the need than, are they really worthy of that day 2 pick? I don't know. The talent level at that position has been hard to find in the draft. So I think there'll be a lot of reaching for these guys, a lot of these linebackers here that get drafted a little higher than we expected. And just because those teams have been overlooking that position for so long, and now with the resurgence of the running game, they still need to have 2 quality inside linebackers out there that can play the run and also cover a little bit as well. And that's been hard to find in the draft lately.
Oh, Roger Goodell is just taking the stage with Cameron Hayward and TJ Watt, I believe. I love that the draft is in Pittsburgh this year. Pittsburgh is the working man's capital of the United States of America, dare I say. I just love it. It's perfect for the little guy who enjoys football to have a draft in Pittsburgh. And when the Steelers come on the clock tonight, we're gonna be jamming out to Renegade together, aren't we, Hal?
Definitely, definitely that Pittsburgh tradition, no doubt about it.
Yes. So, yeah, although a lot of people love this linebacker class, Hal, I'll tell you that, going back to what we were just talking about. But Roger Goodell is kicking this draft off for business. And therefore, Scott Safranek, our good friend, chiming in here. D-Crom, you ready? I am ready, Scott. And Scott, if you have any questions you'd like to ask us about anything you're wondering about what's going to go on tonight, please chime away as the rest of you watching the stream. Just chime away in the comment section and we'll immediately answer them. That's what this is for. It's a community gathering to discuss the moves your favorite team makes tonight, but we will not be tipping picks. But we will introduce a new friend to the show right now. It is the Arif Hassan Consensus Big Board, the best tool to gauge value over the course of this draft. And we are going to be having it on screen with us throughout the evening. And although, we can't share it because he's already tipping picks. He's tipped it to the Raiders, and we don't want to tip picks. So I'm not going to be looking at that. I'm sorry, Hal. But a promise made is a promise kept. I promised we wouldn't tip picks. And and another person said, will the Raiders draft Mendoza or will they start Tom? Oh, come on. Actually, no. But I will say this, to answer that question, Ian Rappaport just reported on the pregame, and there's Mel Blount coming out. Steelers, they're finally bringing the old school Steelers out. Yeah. Mel Blount, that cowboy hat, gotta love it. But the Raiders, Ian Rappaport said that Kirk Cousins is expected to start week 1, and I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing, Cal, because they'll make Mendoza earn the job. I'm not sure he starts week 1, but I think the Raiders are doing everything they can to make Mendoza earn the job and not just hand it to him, and that's how it should be.
Well, I mean, mentioning Tom Brady has been very outspoken about his experience at quarterback and the value he got from sitting and watching a first year and has come out and said that nobody should be starting a rookie quarterback. So the 10% owner has made these comments. So they're listening to him in the building in Las Vegas. So the Kirk Cousins move makes a ton of sense.
Oh, Terry Bradshaw. They're bringing I love this. The Steelers are arguably the most iconic franchise in NFL history. No offense to the Cowboys. Would you say so?
Yeah, pretty much. They got maybe a little more on the title side. So I think they get that little edge there.
And I
beating
think I
them
see
so
Lynn
many
Swan
times.
up there. John Stallworth, Hines Ward.
Oof. They got them all out there.
Yeah, they're waving terrible towels. Yeah.
Of course.
So, and the Steelers, they're a team as a potential trade-up candidate for one of those tackles like we talked about, because Broderick Jones had a setback with that neck injury, and there's a chance that A, he's not going to be able to play this year, and B, there's an outside chance he might never be able to play again with an injury like that.
That kind of injury is a huge risk, and that leaves the future wide open. And yeah, I mean, I used, as soon as that news broke, I don't think I saw a mock draft that had anybody other than a tackle going to the Steelers there in the first round.
Yes, so. And the Steelers and the Raiders are now on the clock, and they're going to take Fernando Mendoza. And by the way, it's 8 minutes to make a pick as opposed to 10. I like this rule change. Do you, Hal?
I love it. I'm old. I can't stay up past 10:30, so this is beautiful for me. I won't be nodding off in the last hour of the draft this year.
Oh, absolutely. And this is we're still relaxing now because we all know that this pick is going to be Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback of Indiana. And while there's debate as to how high his ceiling is, you cannot debate that he has an extremely high floor as one of those top 12 to 15 quarterbacks.
Exactly. And he vaulted himself into this conversation. He looked like the best quarterback in the NCAA last year. He did everything that they asked him to, and that just makes him the no-brainer first pick for the Raiders. He has franchise quarterback. He may not have everything but he's got enough.
He doesn't have the athletic traits, but he has stuff you cannot teach. He has charisma and leadership rolled into one. Like if he went into politics right now, he would be a front runner for whatever political party nominated him to run for like United States Senate or something like that. And that's not just what I say. I believe Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who is from the same Cuban neighborhood that Fernando Mendoza grew up in Miami, I think, said that Mendoza could have a future in politics. He loves Mendoza as a football player too, but don't get me wrong. But, enough about that. But that just means description. But he has the drive, it's the work ethic, and it's the accuracy, the anticipation. It is the footwork. It's squeaky clean footwork, squeaky clean accuracy to all levels of the field, and he's got underrated mobility for a guy size, as we saw on that touchdown run in the national championship.
Exactly.
This guy, at minimum, is Jared Goff, Matt Ryan with wheels.
Yeah, exactly. I think Tom Brady is looking at him and seeing a lot of himself there, and just head over heels in love with Mendoza, no doubt about it. So, clearly
we got another question here. Who will the Bears take in today's draft, and what do you think the new stadium landing spot will be? To answer the first part of that question, I fully expect at least 6 tackles to be gone before 25, and assuming that the tackle left is not the one the Bears want, I think they are going to eye one of these two players, Keldrick Falk or TJ Parker, those edge rushers. They're tailor-made. Dennis Allen fits, and they both align exactly in the neighborhood of where Reef's board is. Keldrick Falk is the 20th ranked player on the board. Bears pick 25th. TJ Parker is the 30th ranked player on the board. So the value is there for both. So I would say it's one of those two edges if the tackle does not fall to them there. But I'd be shocked if 6 tackles do not go before 25.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
And in terms of the stadium, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm not going to make a prediction, but I will say this. I'm sure you know, Hal, that the Broncos, obviously the Walton Penner ownership group, they are paying for the new stadium themselves. They're self-financing it. And I think it has to be, and no offense to the McCaskies, I'm not saying they're bad people. Yes, they're not so good owners, but the vast majority of NFL owners have a fatal flaw. Yes. And the McCaskies are in the vast majority of those. But if you cannot pay to build a stadium by yourself, you shouldn't even own an NFL team. You have to sell that team. I think that has to be a requirement for owning an NFL team going forward, is you have to have the resources and the cash to pay for the stadium yourself.
I agree.
And don't whine the state governments to bail you out.
Oh, exactly. And so many, billionaires coming out with, their handout to state governments, and it just is not a good look for any franchise, especially where we know how much money these teams are making in the NFL. We see the reports on those television deals, and now the streaming companies getting involved. It's just more and more money pouring into the NFL, the most lucrative sport in this country right now, by far. Owns television top to bottom.
Yes. And I think the Walton family buying the Broncos might have spurred even people who are as wealthy as them or even more wealthy than to get in on the fun and buy a team. And it's going to be very fascinating to see who the Seahawks get sold to, and they can get sold for up to $11 billion.
Exactly. It's insane. And it's at the point now that these families that have been owning the teams are a thing of the past. We'll never see again in the NFL as these families, age out, and if they move on from these teams. It just doesn't happen.
Yes, and it's been reported for several years that the next generation of McCaskies want to sell the Bears. So, and Roger Goodell about to make Fernando Mendoza officially official. Let's go to him to read the pick, and then the fun starts with the Jets too.
There he goes.
Congratulations,
All
Fernando
right.
Mendoza. And Fernando Mendoza is with his family in Miami tonight because his mom cannot travel. I believe she has MS or lupus or both of those ailments. And God bless her. And for all of those people who are trashing Mendoza on social media for not attending the draft in person, I have 3 simple words: shame on you.
Amen.
Shame on you. Yes, I don't blame him for wanting to be with his family tonight. Like, it's a matter of taste. Like, yes, I get the appeal of shaking the commissioner's hand on stage of the draft, but I also get the appeal of spending the day at home with my family.
Right. What's the most important thing? The commissioner, who you're hoping is going to be handing you a Super Bowl trophy someday, or spending time with your family here on the most important day of your life? Like, I get it completely 100%. No need to be in that situation.
Yes, and it's hard to root against Fernando Mendoza. He's a happy-go-lucky, charismatic guy who his teammates are going to love him the second he walks in that door in Vegas.
Without a doubt, and no reason for him to be in Pittsburgh.
And tomorrow, with the Raiders, if they make that pick at 36, are you going to be eyeing offensive line help or wide receiver help? Believe it or not, I'd prioritize maybe getting another guard before another wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they need help a lot of different positions there, but all starts up front. And if there's a tackle that's there after that first group of 7 or so, yeah, we could start that run. Getting help up front. A lot of these tackles are really guards, and maybe somebody like Kalen Rutledge is there in the 30s.
Oh, Rutledge, absolutely. Rutledge in that Clint Kubiak offense would be gold. He would make a similar impact as Gray Zabel did for him in Seattle last year.
Exactly, and get some blocking for last year's number 1 pick up there. Get them ground game going.
And with Tyler Linderbaum there and Jackson Powers Johnson, now you got a line that's going to bully people.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Raiders, they're looking pretty damn good right now. I tell you that. I really love the direction they're headed in right now. And now the Jets are still on the clock, and it is either Arvell Reese or David Bailey, but here's why I think it's David Bailey. Jets GM Darren Muji was the assistant GM in Denver when they took somebody named Nick Benito. And who has been the most regular comp for David Bailey? Nick Benito.
Yes. Yeah. And that speed rusher, right? Get around the edge, have every tool in the cabinet.
Yes. And keep in mind, hybrid players have fallen down the board in the past because of positional uncertainty. And I think that positional uncertainty might have scared the Jets away from Reese, but we're not going to know for sure because Muji has kept this a secret.
Exactly.
Except for him, Aaron Glenn, and maybe Woody Johnson. They're probably the only 3 people in America who know the pick right now.
Exactly. And again, with the Woody Johnson Jets there as well, I mean, as ridiculous as it is of a coach picking up, coming into a situation like the Jets, which were a complete and total tear down, and trying to rebuild it and saying, hey, must win in year 2 to keep your job or you're on the hot seat. Yeah, he doesn't have time. He doesn't have, doesn't have to be thinking about David Bailey in 3 years. He knows what he's going to get there. Versus, like you said, Reese has all that upside, but if it takes him 2 years to get there, he may not be there.
Yes, that has been the logic all along for the Jets going with David Bailey over Arvell Reese. But the thing with an edge like Bailey is what concerns me is that Nick Benito has a guy like Zach Allen in the middle of that defensive line who frees him up. The Jets currently don't have that guy after trading away Big Q. That's what makes me a little concerned about Smith, but there was risk with either one of them.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll be really interesting, like I said, with because if I have a defensive coach like Aaron Glenn who, talks about his superpower coaching these guys and drawing up the plays, you kind of look at it and you say, well, wouldn't you want that freak athlete there? Like, am I going to pass up on a Lawrence Taylor because I'm not sure if I'm going to play him inside or out, or, give up on that incredibly high ceiling? So yeah, that's what makes it so compelling here with the Jets
Roger
picks
Goodell about to announce the pick. Here we go. First dramatic moment of the night. Is it Reese or Bailey? David Bailey it is.
It is Bailey. They go the safe route. All right.
So let's grade these first couple of picks. So obviously Mendoza, yes, you could debate his shooting, but I still have to give it an A.
He's straight A, no doubt about it.
And for David Bailey, I would give this a B plus. It's like a fairway shot. And Derek Muji wanted to take the fairway shot as opposed to whatever the more risky shot is in golf. So
exactly. He wasn't trying to hook it around the dog leg there. He just landed it straight in the middle of the fairway, and he's going to chip up onto the green. Didn't take that big swing. So yeah, a nice conservative B. Perfect spot. Bailey will be great for him. Double-digit sacks. They need that on that defense. I mean, they basically had one guy with more than 4 sacks, and he got half of them in the game against Cleveland. So that doesn't bode well for your pass rush. So definitely a need there for the Jets.
And now the Cardinals on the clock at 3. And a common trade partner to watch out for them here is the New Orleans Saints. But if I'm the Cardinals, it's going to take the Saints giving me their 2027 1 or 2 to move out. What do you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm not looking to move down without getting capital in next year's draft for, a team that could be looking for a quarterback, especially. You've got to pile. If you're going back, you've got to get capital for next year that you can use to move around the board and get your quarterback of the future.
No question about it. But if the Cardinals stay here, this is not what we think they're going to do. It's what would you do? Would you take Arvell Reese or Jeremiah Love?
It's a tough one because you're looking at, is this a potential impact player at a position of need at edge rusher for them, like we talked about, or are you taking just the best player on the board, Jeremiah Love, and say, hey, we'll figure out the rest of these guys at running back. We got a full stable, but we're not going to pass up on this kind of talent. I think it's hard to ignore the need. They were just so bad on defense last year in Arizona that it's kind of like I can crib together an offense here that might be functional.
A lot of people in that building right now might be having PTSD from the Isaiah Simmons pick, and he was a hybrid player too, so that might scare him away from this.
Yeah, that's a good point there too. That's right. So yeah, you got PTSD in Arizona from Simmons. You got it from Marvin Harrison Jr. Like who knows? Maybe they're frozen right now. And
although I don't think that might not be all Marvin Harrison Jr.'s fault, though.
Not at all.
Kyler Murray and him were like oil and water. A quarterback like that is not meant for a wide receiver like Marvin Harrison Jr., who is that precision tempo-based route runner.
Exactly. It's just not a great fit there. And love Jacoby Brissett as a backup, but if you're going out there with him or Minshew as your guy, you're just asking for trouble here this year. You're looking at your quarterback, a top pick of 2027 at that point.
Yeah, the Cardinals have 2.5 minutes remaining, and I just thought Rich Eisen was about to say something, but we should get notification very shortly as to what the Cardinals do here. This is one of the first big pressure points of the night. And they're still on the clock. 2 minutes left, but they're applauding. I think they made a pick. They made a pick. So if you had to take a guess, I think they're going to take Jeremiah Love here.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's just too much talent to pass up here. On my board, he's the most, regardless of the positional value, the most talented player after Mendoza here. So
Yes,
impact offense. You got to have that there.
Yeah, the top 3 players on the Arifa consensus board: Mendoza 1, Reese 2, Love 3. And by the way, taking Love 3 ahead of Reese isn't a reach.
Exactly. No doubt about that.
Yeah, but Mike LaFleur is after learning from Sean McVay and how he revamped that run game in LA. Mike LaFleur helped Sean McVay revamp that run game in LA, I believe. But unlike Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, this is a guy, like I said earlier, you could use as your de facto slot receiver with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Mike Wilson on the boundaries.
Exactly. He
and Trey McBride, he and Trey McBride in the slot on the same play. That would be gold.
Yeah, I mean that's a instant shot in the arm. You may not have the quarterback, but clears that up. And yeah, I mean, for all the investment that they've put in that running back position, James Conner is approaching 30.
Yeah.
Love Algier, but you can use him as
you can trade one of them before the season. Trade one of them.
Exactly. Same argument I was making about the Jets beforehand. If you got a chance to get the best player, get the best player and figure it all out afterwards.
Well, no offense to Mendoza. While Mendoza might be number 1 on the Arifa consensus bid board, he's a consensus top player of the draft, arguably on most NFL boards based on the buzz that's been going around.
Exactly.
So, Roger Goodell about to announce the Cardinals pick here. Yeah, I'm already loving this 8-minute time slot. We are moving.
This is great,
here, aren't we?
Eric Samuel.
My cousin thinks that the pick is going to be Reese here. My cousin Eric Samuel says it's going to be Reese, but no tipping picks, please. No tipping picks. If he saw a tweet from somebody that said the pick was Reese, Eric, I love you, but please no more tipping picks. We'll see whether or not you're right here. But I actually think Reese would be better. Let's go ahead. It is Jeremiah Love.
He did it. All right.
Smart
move. All right.
I'm watching live on TV. Good for you, Eric. Sorry we suspected you of tipping picks. It's okay.
We've had it happen to us before here. You don't need a replay of that,
Yeah, absolutely. And as Peter Schrager said during the draft, throw your phone away, and because tipping the picks takes away from the excitement tonight.
Exactly. It's like reading a script before a movie. No thanks. I don't need that.
So Jeremiah Love, the pick to the Arizona Cardinals, grade the pick. Positional value factors in, but in a draft class like this where there's no blue chip talented premium position, I have to give this an A. I just have to.
Straight A.
In a normal draft, I would have given it a C, but this is not a normal draft, so I'm giving it an A.
Right. And again, I think Jeremiah, Love brings so much to this offense. And like you said, he can do so much more. He is, to me, the most talented outside of Mendoza offensive player. Why would you not pick him here? It just, the teams that we mark down and we've seen historically make mistakes year after year in the draft are the ones that are drafting for positional need instead of getting the best player on the board. Get the talent in and let them coach them up. That's why you're paying these coaches millions of dollars. That's why you're paying these executives millions of dollars. Make the right move, make it work.
And my cousin Eric says, good pick, guys. Most mocks had that. I would beg to differ. Plenty of mocks had that in the past 48 hours or so, because the past 48 hours, actually going back to Monday, the past 72 hours is where the real hard intel starts to come in. So going forward on our show, Cal, I am not going to record a podcast before that intel comes out. I'm going to save it for drafting live stream.
I like it, David. Yeah, it's
because we were working out poor intel when we recorded last week. Cal.
Yes, we certainly were. Well, I mean, we know that before the draft, it's everybody that's giving out that information to the media, they have an agenda. There's a reason that information is going out there.
And now you got the Tennessee Titans at 4, and you got an interesting choice here. Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles. Yes, I get the need wanting to help Cam Ward, but there's no blue chip receivers here.
Yeah, I mean, Carnell Tate, I love Tate, but
but
he's not even
Styles,
the best receiver on the team. Come on, coming out of college.
Got to go with Reese or Styles here, one of those two for sure.
Exactly.
And believe it or not, I think I'd go with Sonny Styles because you know what you're getting with him. I think he has the higher floor of the two prospects, and you got to make your fairway shot. And the fairway shot here is Sonny Styles, just like the Jets made their fairway shot with David Bailey over Arvell Reese. The Titans should do the same with Sonny Styles.
Yeah, I would go with Sonny Styles here. I'm going to say with Robert Saleh, we know he loves those edge rushers, and I don't think he expected Reese to be sitting there. So I wish they'd show the draft room because he's probably got, somebody in a headlock over there and trying to get him to draft Reese. Poor Mike Borgonzi's there, underneath his arm or something.
Yeah, my cousin says, don't let me distract you guys, but I'm curious, how much better is Bailey than the defensive end Bears could be looking at late round one? Doesn't feel like gap is huge. There is a gap, I believe, between Bailey, but the gap between Bailey and the other edges is, as opposed to being this wide, I think it's this wide because Bailey has his flaws too.
Right, exactly. He's not a perfect prospect.
It's not that big. It's not that big. And like I said, he's like Nick Benito coming into the league. And obviously Nick Benito's been good, but I think a big reason why Nick Benito was good last year because he has Zach Allen and John Franklin Myers in the middle of that defense. And Bailey's going to have a harder time because he doesn't have a guy like that. And Bailey, keep in mind, he had Lee Hunter and Romello Height.
Right. So he had two studs there in the middle that are going to be,
Romello Height was the other edge, though.
Well, but again, two studs there, for opposing offensive lines to try to figure out the block. He wasn't a one-man show out there, and that's very important there, part of that.
So nobody should be surprised either way, whether it's Styles or Reeves here, because Sonny Styles is going to evoke images of Fred Warner in Robert Saleh's eyes. And Robert Saleh obviously helped draft Fred Warner in San Francisco.
Exactly. So, so very interesting to see what they give their new head coach here.
Yes, and the Cardinals taking Jeremiah Love made their decision slightly easier, as in to focus on a certain side of the ball here.
Exactly, because I think if Love was here at 4, I think they'd be going with Love, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah, because Brian Daboll was banging the table for him during draft meetings, reportedly.
Of course, I'm sure. No doubt about it. Ugh. Oh, picks in. All right. This is zooming. I love it.
Absolutely. Making our job easier, too.
Yeah, exactly. This is fantastic.
So the draft holding to form so far. Do we see a slight pivot from Styles to Reese? Most mocks had Styles in this spot. Whoa, my goodness!
Brian Daboll wins the arm wrestling battle there in the room. Oh, my gosh. Wow.
A shocker. A first shocker of the night. I like Carnell Tate, but based on who is still left on the board, I'm going to have to give this a B- because he, at best, is a high-end wide receiver, too. He doesn't strike this way. But a lot of people said that about Emeka Egbuka last year. Keep that in mind. He's from Ohio State, so he could be a lot better than your typical wide receiver, too.
Right, exactly. We know coming out of Ohio State, there's limited production because that ball is going to a lot of different receivers in that offense because there's just so much talent there in that Ohio State draft room.
And the Giants are in a pretty enviable position here. If they want Jordan Tyson, if that buzz is true, and they are not necessarily eyeing Sonny Styles, Well, the Giants, this is another pivot point. The Giants have been feeding contradictory signs to us all week. No, we love Downs. We love Styles. No, we don't love them. No, we don't love them. No, we're a wide receiver tackle. All this. God, man. Even Adam Schefter and Jay Glazer, arguably the two most plugged-in insiders out there, disagreed on what the Giants were going to do.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm the Giants, my dream scenario is, being able to grab Sonny Styles here, who's still on the board at 5, and then just hoping Caleb Downs still there at 10. That would be my dream scenario.
100%. But if the Saints want to come up for Arvell Reese here, maybe this is a ticket for them to do so.
Yeah, this is a good spot to have
because the Saints, keep in mind, the Saints were perceived as the threat for Jordan Tyson.
Right.
And word has it that they have an astronomically high grade on Arvell Reese, the Saints. So we could see a trade here.
Yeah,
if the Giants like Tyson, especially given his injury history, trade back 3 spots, you could get him at 8.
Exactly. And they can use more picks. They're not going to complain about getting that, So reload on that. They've got a lot of players they need to pick here. So great spot. This is turning out perfect for the Giants. This is everything they could have helped.
Yeah, it looks like the lucky leprechaun in the Ravens draft room, or at least the lucky leprechaun's brother, follow John Harbaugh to New York right now. Well, but I think that leprechaun is still in the Ravens draft room, believe it or not, because they're the Ravens. They always do the draft right. And but Carnell Tate, I gave this pick a B-. What's your grade here?
Yeah, I'm right around that B-. I'm shocked they didn't come out with Styles or Reese. Yeah, exactly. Styles and Reese on the board, and they passed on them both. I just did not. But it's keep in mind Mike Borgonzi's a positional value guy. Yeah,
and he probably saw both Reese and Styles as off-ball backers.
I think you're right. I think you're exactly right on that. And
so it was like Borgonzi who might have broken a tie between the offensive and defensive staff there.
Yeah, and Carnell Tate. Look at desperate for wide receiver help. They threw a ton of money at Wan'Dale Robinson to play in the slot. And
Carnell Tate will be your boundary guy. Calvin Ridley's been a disappointment over there. He hasn't been the impact player they expected when they went out and got him. So the New York Giants, they're picking at 5, and the Chiefs have traded up with the Browns at 6. So we got a trade, and
all right.
So and every time there's a trade tonight, we got a drink.
All right.
Drink to the trade. Trade one. So the Chiefs trade Browns.
Browns moving back for the Chiefs. Okay, so that's more picks for.
So Giants, what do you do here? I think one of Styles, but there's been a lot of Jordan Tyson hype in recent days, and given the fact that Carnell Tate just went off the board, it might create a receiver run. So the Giants might want to. The Giants might not be able to afford to pass on Tyson here.
Right, exactly. And, got to be thinking as well with Kansas City moving up, who are they coming up for, right? So
if they think Arvell Reese is an edge rusher, it has to be him.
Right, exactly.
It has to be Reese or Tyson or maybe an offensive lineman, maybe. But keep in mind, Matt Miller, the lead NFL draft analyst for one of the lead NFL draft analysts for ESPN. Obviously, Mel Kiper still the head honcho there, but Matt Miller is extremely integral to ESPN's draft coverage. He's one of the best in the business. He lives in the Kansas City area, and he has been saying that the Chiefs have been very difficult to get a read on as to what they're going to do.
I agree. Even at 9, need an edge rusher, need a cornerback. When we mocked that, it was wide open. They could still go in and getting a tackle. They could be looking.
I think it's a tackle here. The Chiefs are either moving up for a tackle, Arvell Reese, or Jordan Tyson. One of those three.
Right. Or they
I
want to
don't think
jump
they're trading
everybody.
up for a corner. I don't think they're trading up for Mansour Delane.
No.
They
I
get a
think
good
they would
corner
have stayed
later.
at 9 if they wanted Delane. They wouldn't be moving. I
Yeah,
think that kind of
they could
tips their hand.
they could get their corner. They could get like Chris Johnson at 29 or trade Stukes at 29, and yeah, that would be much better use of resources there.
Yeah, I don't see him trading up for the cornerback. Like I said, if they wanted to sit and wait cornerback, they could have picked him at 9, or traded back, and got more capital. I think they're looking at here, getting up here and getting somebody at one of those impact position players. Get ahead of somebody for the wide receiver.
Yeah.
Get up and get that. If they look at it and they say Arvell Reese on the edge is going to be, exactly what we need for Chris Jones in the middle to draw some attention away, that might be the pick there as well. Definitely.
Yeah,
And I
so
think we're pretty much in agreement. The Giants are not drafting Reese, right? I mean, they've got 3 starting edge rushers already. How many can they spend the top 5 pick on, right?
Yeah, unless Harbaugh sees Reese as a stack pick, but I would say Styles or Tyson here.
Yeah,
Styles
exactly.
or Jordan Tyson.
If I was looking at Reese as an inside linebacker, I'd rate him below Sonny Styles. I mean, Reese's value is the getting after the quarterback with that freakish ability and developing him into an impact edge rusher in 2 years.
So here we go, Roger Goodell to announce what is another pivot point in this draft. Oh, the people, military families from the TAPS program will be announcing the Giants pick here. Gotta love these moments. The St. Jude's kids getting to announce the picks, and military families getting announced picks as well. This is one of my favorite moments of the night. I'm sure it's one of yours too, Hal.
Definitely.
He is survived by his spouse, Tracy, and their 2 sons, Andrew and Benjamin. Major Wilkie was raised in the Hudson Valley and was a lifelong fan of the New York Giants, a tradition he proudly passed on to his sons. Wilkie family, take it away.
With the 5th overall pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Arvell Reese.
Arvell Reese! Wow! Kayvon Thibodeau's being traded. He's being traded. I just know
it's got to be. They're not going to pay him $14 million to be the fourth edge rusher. Yeah, that's punched his ticket right out the door here. So.
Yeah, that said, I didn't think they were going to go this direction, but I still have to give this an A. Reese is arguably the best prospect in the draft at the end of the day.
Yeah, highest ceiling anybody in this draft, no doubt about it. So credit for the Giants sitting tight, getting an impact player coming to them.
Yes, and keep in mind, you just traded away Dexter Lawrence. You need more pass rush.
Yeah, and for all those edge rushers, they stunk last year. They didn't get after the quarterback well.
But I think a big reason why was Shane Bowen. You got to keep that in mind too. He had to be a big factor, and the fact that team was so demoralized, they were just never right after that choke job in Denver.
Right, exactly. That ended their season right there. You could see that was it.
I was just 2 rows off the field after the game-winning field goal. I never seen a bunch of football players walk off the field so depressed in person.
Oh man, I tell you, I remember watching that game because my wife, we were at Seattle that weekend, and there was a table of Broncos fans there in the restaurant we were at watching. And they were like standing on the table screaming the last 10 minutes of that game. It was one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen in my life. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So the Chiefs, I don't think they traded up for Sonny Styles. Because they got Nick Bolton already. And the Chiefs are a positional value team. So it's either wide receiver, tackle, or even Ruben Bain could be in play here.
They could be Reese off the board. That's the next edge rusher.
Jordan Tyson, and obviously the tackle that's been linked to them is Spencer Fano out of Utah because Andy Reid has a long relationship with Kyle Whittingham, and Whittingham obviously coached Fano at Utah.
Yep. So that makes. I mean, I don't see him trading up for the tackle. I think they could have sat there.
But the Browns were linked to Fano too.
Yeah. I think the Browns feel like they can move back and this will be fine for them,
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm thinking wide receiver or edge rusher here.
Yeah, I mean, those are premium positions. If you're moving up and you're not getting a premium position here, what are you doing, right? Like,
Yes, and I think, and it was reported by Matt Miller that Dan Quinn reportedly told people that Sonny Styles was his favorite player of this draft. And Adam Peters was in the 49ers for about draft for Warner. If Sonny Styles is the pick at 6, I don't think he gets by Washington at 7. Do you?
No, I don't think so either. I mean, there's a position of need, plug and play for Washington. That would be perfect for them to have Sonny Styles land in their lap there. So, yeah, Washington got to be looking at this and feeling pretty good.
Yep. So Chiefs, Jordan Tyson, Reuben Bain Jr., or one of the 2 tackles, Fano or Mawanoa?
Makes the most sense to me for sure.
Yep. Because you need to get Patrick Mahomes more help on offense in terms of protection and receivers, and you need more pass rush on defense. Those were the 2 biggest needs on this Chiefs roster coming into the draft. Well, corners too, but given Steve Spagnuolo's track record of developing cornerback talent, they can wait because we got a good crop of corners this year. Yeah.
Exactly. Nice deep group of cornerbacks. You should be able to get good corners day 1, day 2, maybe even some spillover.
And let's see the details of this trade. Just how much did the Chiefs give up to move up? The Chiefs gave up only their 3rd and 5th. So they're 74th overall at 148. Yeah, it was just a 3-spot move up the board. And this shows you that the trade market's cheap.
Yes.
The trade market's very cheap.
Yeah, exactly. No 2027 capital going out the door. I think that's going to be a trend we're going to see. Teams are holding those picks next year close to the vest because they feel like they're going to have a lot more value next year. I mean, just having multiple quarterbacks going in the top 10 just gives you so much more value on the rest of the positions across the board when you've got teams
and there's no blue chip prospects at value premium positions. No wonder this trade market's cheap.
Exactly.
And I think we'll see more trades in the middle of the round.
Yeah. I think that's a good spot to see that.
The tackle panic might begin here. The tackle run just might start here, though. We shall see. Is it Maui Noah? Is it Fano? Is it Jordan Tyson? Or is it Reuben Bain? Delane!
Whoa!
Whoa! They traded.
I think they would have got him. I think they could have stayed and got him. I think they gave up. I mean, who were they jumping over? New Orleans, Washington.
Washington was going to take Styles. What are they?
Right.
This reeks like a panic move. I have to give this a C+. I really like Delane a lot, but this reeks of panic here. C+. Come on.
I mean, unless they have some idea. I mean, I could see the Saints going for cornerback here. That's definitely a position of need, but, geez, I think the Saints are in great position here. If Tyson drops to them, they get their wide receiver. They could still pick Bain.
And Washington they're celebrating and popping champagne in that war room right now because Sonny Styles fell into their lap.
Exactly. The perfect player they need on that defense just landed in their laps. They've got to be celebrating. Oh,
and my cousin doesn't like what the Chiefs did.
I don't like what they did either, and I believe I gave him Delane at 9. So I'm wrong. So
I love Delane too.
Yeah, I mean,
Delane is fundamentally sound, very high floor, and he's very similar to Trent McDuffie, who they just traded away.
Exactly. I don't know. Maybe they got, would you call it hut feet? I don't know what you'd call it there, but they just panicked. Felt he wasn't. They panicked. They were afraid somebody in front of them were going to grab him.
Jordan Tyson here. I am not so sure because I trust Matt Miller a lot. And Adam Peters was with help draft Fred Warner in San Francisco, and Dan Quinn. If what Dan Quinn said, talking about Sonny Styles to certain people turns out to be true, then Sonny Styles has to be the pick here. He just has to.
Right. I mean, that
He's
makes
one of the
most.
blue chippers. He's a blue chip prospect.
He definitely is, and be interesting to see. I mean, wide receiver definitely a need. I get the idea of Tyson here.
And I just had a thought. The schematic versatility that Denard Wilson, the Giants defensive coordinator, is going to have right now with Arvell Reese and Abdul Carter, two similar athletic freaks that can line up at the second level or on the edge. It's going to be a creative defense next year, and I'm actually bullish on them this time, even though they traded away Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, they traded away Dexter Lawrence. You've got both of those guys. Like you said, you still have Brian Burns out there as well. I mean, he could be on the move too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Thibodeau definitely on that last year of that rookie deal, I think pretty much cementing his way out of town there. It'll
be interesting to see what John Harbaugh says the plan is, because I personally think, based on talking to some people, that the best plan for Arvell Reese is to start him off at that off-ball linebacker position and play and have him on edge with a sub package of snaps each game.
Ooh, I like that. Well, I mean, they got Tremaine Edmonds, right? So you could pair him up there in the middle, and
yeah, and Harbaugh, if there's any guy who knows how to use such talents, it's Harbaugh.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes. I know there might be some Tyson fans in that building, but this has to be Sonny Styles. Would you say so?
The way this draft is going, I don't know, Dave. I can't say it has to be one way or another. I'm losing all confidence in myself.
I would do that. I would pick Styles here. Would you?
I would pick Styles, definitely. I think for Washington, the biggest problem last year was the defense. And, they definitely
and you need a field. Styles is the field general you need to lead your defense.
Exactly.
And we got a special... Yeah, Bobby Wagner, who won the Walter Payton Man of the Year award last year, was previously with the Commanders, but Lynn Swan and Jerome Bettis are on stage instead. But it'll be odd to have them announce the pick for the Commanders because they're Steelers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Bobby Wagner, one of the all-around good guys in this league for a long time.
Yeah, definitely.
And a future Hall of Famer, too. Roger's announcing it.
Here we go.
Sonny Styles, come on down.
Good job, smart move.
Good job, Adam Peters. A+. He's one of the 4 blue chip prospects in this class. Sonny Styles.
Definitely. To be able to sit and have him fall into their laps. Yeah, I mean, Mendoza, Love, Reese, Styles. That's my draft board right there. So positional value be damned. That's a great pick.
Dan Quinn and Adam Peters are probably having a brotherly hug in that war room right now.
That's beautiful, Sonny.
Yeah, and now the New Orleans Saints. This is where things get interesting. I've heard Caleb Downs' name here. I heard Reuben Bain Jr.'s name here.
Yes.
And I also heard Jordan Tyson's name here. It's probably one of those 3. But credit to the Saints for showing surprising discipline again and not trading up and burning a few capital. They're nowhere near that phase to do so right now.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're not. They had positive momentum coming into this season now, definitely put themselves in a good position right now where they can sit here at number 8 and say, let me look at what's falling into my lap, and I'm not going to I have needs, but I'm not playing with desperation here, right?
Yes. Yep. Hat tip to Matt Miller, and also hat hit to Ricky the dog, who is, that account on Exhale, Ricky the dog?
Yes.
Ricky the dog posted earlier today that Sonny Styles wouldn't be the pick to Tennessee, and he was proven correct. Never underestimate the sources of the dog.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do every draft cycle in the days leading up to that is to jot down all the notes from all the articles and X posts that insiders put out, and I'm judging to see which insider had the better track record and which insider wasn't fooled.
Exactly. Yes. They need their grades after the draft. We got to start, draft grading them.
Yeah, the Titans. But the Titans had everybody fooled.
Yes, they certainly did, and kudos to them.
Yeah, but the Titans and Chiefs, the Chiefs have easily made the most puzzling move of the night. They could have easily gotten Delane at 9.
Yeah, and Titans Carnell Tate, let's face it, we did not see that coming at all. With Reese on the board, Sonny Styles on the board, I am still shocked that they went wide receiver there. Yes, they want to. They desperately need to get some impact players for
Cam Ward.
For Cam Ward,
the Commanders have a hole at receiver too.
Yeah, they got a huge hole there.
Adam Peters is a smart man.
Yes, exactly. Worry about this depth at wide receiver and who you're going to get on day 2 here.
All right. So, all right, New Orleans Saints here. If you have a choice, your choice is Caleb Downs, Ruben Maine Jr., or Jordan Tyson. Who would your pick be here?
I mean, that's a toughie because I can see Bain slot him right in there on that defense. Would be a perfect fit there. They re-signed Chase Young, but I wouldn't let that. Kyle Granderson, they're going to need a replacement there after this year. He would be a perfect fit. Put Bain in there, get him some snaps, and get that edge rusher there, build that up. That's where I would go with that. But with this wide receiver core, I don't know. It's basically Chris Olave and not much else there.
Yeah, but the issue with Tyson is his durability. And here's the big risk with Tyson. Injured players at college don't become healthy players in the NFL, do they?
That is true. That's why, injured players definitely do not. And
he's had apparently chronic hamstring issues.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's such, again, I think we're looking at the same thing. Tennessee, we need to beef up that defense and, what he can get and stick on that defense to make us better. But do we have to show our young quarterback that we've got his back and are bringing in weapons for him here early in the draft? I understand the want to do that, but man, and I look at that. I'm looking at that Saints depth chart right now, and I'm like, projected starters at wide receiver: Mason Tipton, Devon Vele.
I like Vele, but he's almost 30. That's the bad news.
Right? Exactly. And Denver gave up on him for a reason. So. Yeah, and then I look at the back. Jalen Polk, the Patriots couldn't wait to get rid of that, second round pick who did not work out for them, and it's brutal over there. So
I would much rather take Ruben Maine Jr. or Caleb Downs here ahead of Tyson. Would you?
I agree. I would. I'd be interested to see though if that need.
Get Bain, who I think, yes, you could talk about the arm length all you want, but and Adam Schefter said this, that there are some people around the NFL that thought that 8 was the floor for Ruben Bain. And I would applaud the pick because talk about his arm length all you want, put on the film, he's a stud.
Exactly.
Absolute stud. Yep. And he might have short arms, but he compensates for that because his hands are anvils, literal anvils.
Heavy hands, exactly.
Yeah.
That heavy-handed edge rusher. You gotta love to see that. So
Yes,
yeah.
God, please make this be Ruben Bain. I would be so happy if the Saints take him here. Really,
Yeah,
it would show the team thinking outside the box, saying, you know what, arm like be damned, we're still taking this guy because we love his tape.
Exactly. And I think if the Saints, I think the smart move is going on defense here.
Yep. Yeah, get your receiver on day 2. Like there's somebody from Louisville named Chris Bell that Tyler Shuck knows very well.
Yes, exactly.
And you're going to pay Olave a fortune, so you need to draft a wide receiver 2 and not another wide receiver 1. Yes, I know it's Jamar Chase Teagues. I know a lot of teams like to copy that, but in reality, that's a in reality, you don't want a situation like that.
Exactly. And you bring up Chris Bell, who looked like a first-round draft pick before the injury there.
Yes.
Drafting, just wait for him to get healthy.
Yeah.
That's a great day 2 pick. We've seen guys in that position, go on and have successful NFL
Bain to the
careers.
Bears. I don't mean to break your heart, Eric, but Bain's not falling out of the top 12. He just is not. The lowest he could go is 12 to the Cowboys.
Although I'm sure Chicago would love that. Oh my God!
Oh, absolutely. The people in Chicago would be throwing a party if that happened.
Oh my gosh, that'd be a beautiful thing. Yes. David, this is like the good old days for us. Broncos at the end of they traded out, but Broncos, Bears, Patriots all at the end. Woo.
Here we go. It is Jordan Tyson. Oh my God. I'm going to have to give this a B-. The injury risk is just way too much for me here.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
This was expected to happen. Him going in the top 10, and there was buzz leaking him to the Saints.
Yeah, but even so, yeah.
Do you give it a B-?
I think about a B- is about where I would go with that. Yeah, a little bit of an overdraft here. Like you said, but wide receivers with bulky hamstrings, that's a legitimate concern.
But the upside you can't ignore. As Carl Dumler said on our live stream last night, if there's any wide receiver who has wide receiver 1 talent in this class, it's Tyson.
Yep, exactly. All the talent in the world, just got to get him out there and keep him healthy. And
Browns are now on the clock at 9 with those 2 receivers gone. I think we see the first tackle come off the board here.
Yep.
Either Fano or Mawanoa.
Yep.
One of those 2 for sure.
One of those 2 for sure. No doubt about it. This is where we've been.
Absolutely. And a lot of people have been saying, why you already have Titus Howard, who's essentially a right tackle. Why draft Fano or Mawanoa? Well, Andrew Berry himself said that he's not going to typecast a tackle based on what side they played on in college. And B, word has it that they're going to play Howard at left tackle.
Oh, geez. There we go. So
you're drafting a pure right tackle either way. But here's why my guess would be Fano here, because as was reported by Ab Schefter earlier in the week, and Albert Breer expanded on the report on Tuesday night, that Mawanoa is dealing with a herniated disc in his back. That's asymptomatic now, but as Albert Breer reported, teams believe that he'll inevitably need surgery at some point down the road to correct it. So the decision for drafting Mawanoa, whoever drafts it, is do you have him have the surgery now and sideline him for 3 months and have him ready for training camp, even if he misses some developmental time? Or do you let the situation play out and risk the back flaring up and lose him at some point during the season? For me, I would ask him to take the surgery now, personally. I really would.
Yeah. That's a toughie. It's tough because it could be, maybe he's fine for this year and he has the surgery in the off season, or 2 years out, or 3 years out, reminds me of, the Patriots getting Rob Gronkowski. A lot of teams had him off their draft board because of that back, and he eventually had the surgery, but I think it worked out all right for them there in New England with Gronk. So
Totally. And now we are to the Browns. It's either Fano or Mawanoa. I would actually still take Mawanoa because he has the longer arms, and Fano's arms are shorter than Will Campbell's.
Yeah. Although,
Who would
you know,
take, though?
I mean, I have Mawanoa as my top tackle right here. I would take him, but the Browns, yeah, they might be a little more conservative. I mean, I'd take Mawanoa. I think he's the better tackle.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
take
Yep.
the better player. Worry about the back when the back gets injured.
Yeah,
You're not
and,
going to the Super Bowl next year anyway. So.
Yeah, and also keep in mind they have one of the best offensive line coaches in the business, as George Warhawk joined that staff under Todd Monken. So he is definitely going to play a pivotal role in this decision. Wouldn't you say so?
Definitely. And Cleveland, like we talked about, you know, getting that help up front, that was an atrocious offensive line last year. Players aging out on the line. They have a lot of needs across the board. Yes, they brought in a bunch of guys, but definitely can still use that help. It's a huge position of need for them.
Oh, absolutely. And if they do take Fano here, I would not be surprised if Mawanoa is actually the Giants' pick at 10 because he's been linked to them for months, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, Giants definitely.
And you can also play. You can play McGard to start out and have Illuminor on that right side, and you help that run game that way. Yep. And that's what John Harbaugh wants.
Yeah, with Harbaugh in charge over there, definitely.
He wants bullies on that offensive line.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the tackle run begins here, which is right where we expect it to be. Some teams said 11, but 9 is the same area.
Yeah, and don't forget the Giants still will have Caleb Downs on the board too if they want to.
If they want to, but Jay Glazer disputed that report, but Shefty said they love Downs, so we'll see which one of them is right.
Yeah, exactly. We got to keep our scorecard here on these insiders. Hold them accountable.
Here we go. Spencer Fano it is.
Yeah, right.
B+, middle of the fairway pick. If Fano fails to tackle, he'll immediately help you at guard, and his floor is very high. And Brandon Thorne, who I trust more than any offensive line analyst on this planet, said that Fano was his favorite tackle in the class by far. So this is a B+ for me, if not an A-.
Yeah, I think it's right in there. You know, like I said, depends on your flavor here, right? And a lot of good offensive tackles here are going to be start flying off the board, and just a matter of where do they
it's the tackle
land.
And we're going to see some trades soon. I can easily see the Lions on the phone right now trying to get up ahead of Tampa and the Jets. And I think either the Rams or Ravens would be interested in moving down.
Yeah, definitely.
Heck, we could see 3 tackles in a row here. The Giants can take Mawanoa, and the Dolphins, Lord we knows, can take Freeling or no, this is a little too early for Blake Miller. But no, I think they'll take Ruben Bain because of the Jason Taylor connection.
Oh, yes, definitely have that Jason Taylor connection. So, and then of course, if you're thinking Miami taking him, you know, now is what's Dallas going to do, right?
Caleb Downs can fall to them. If Caleb Downs falls to the Cowboys, don't pass on him. Don't.
Oh my gosh, they'd be insane.
Here we go.
To
Giants
pass
pick at
on
10.
him.
Here we go. Francis Mawanoa it is.
Mawanoa, all
so
right.
Jay Glazer, once again, I hate journalistic scorecards. I really do. But Jay Glazer was right once again. And the reason why I trusted his information is because he actually covered the Giants once upon a time when he was starting out. So the 2 tackles, Mawanoa and Fano, go on the board. And I'm going to give this a B+ too, because that offensive line needed solidifying in the middle. You had your 2 tackles in Aaron Thomas and Jermaine Illuminor, but that middle was so suspect. They were not getting any push in the run game. And now you got a guy who, at minimum, whose floor is at that right guard position where he'll open up vehicle-sized lanes for Cam Scatterbo and Tyrone Tracy.
Exactly. So now you've got your road grader in there for the John Harbaugh offense. good fit there for them. Need that, all going to start up front. He knows what that, you look at those offensive lines in Baltimore the last 2 decades, loaded with talent there.
This just has to be Ruben Bain here. It just has to be.
Yeah.
At 11. This is the first pick you're going to make in your tenure as GM, John Eric Sullivan, and head coach, Jeff Hafley. You have 7 picks in the top 100. Getting Ruben Bain or Caleb Downs for that matter here. I would go with one of those two. Has to be one of those two. Do not reach on a tackle here.
Exactly. Don't reach on a tackle. Wide receivers are needed. I wouldn't be taking.
They have good players, and Bain and Downs are staring in the face. Anyone will do here.
Exactly.
But the Dolphins probably have a lot of intel on Ruben Bain Jr. because of Jason Taylor coached him at Miami. Yeah. I would leave Bain over Downs due to positional value, but I would applaud if either one of them was the pick here for John Eric Sullivan and the Dolphins.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think it's going to be Bain because he's from that Packer tree. What do the Packers do first? They always prioritize the trenches first.
Exactly. And
and the Packers.
Miami has enough needs; they can just take the best player. I mean, they're really in that situation of
Ford could have fallen better for the Dolphins here.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, the Cowboys. I think the next 2 picks are Bain and Downs in some order.
Yep, exactly. Whoever doesn't go at 11 goes at 12.
Oh, the Dolphins have traded back with the Cowboys.
Oh, so Dallas not waiting. All right.
Excellent. I think this is for Bain. Has to be. Got to get a pass rusher.
Yeah, I think so.
Got to get that pass rush going, and a pass rush duo of Bain and Izaraku would perfectly complement each other.
Oh yeah, that's a good group there for sure.
So you drink. We got our second trade of the night. 11 picks in.
Here we go.
And and I'm gonna do this. Can I do this, Al?
I crushed a can on my head, so I got that for me.
That's you know what I was just impersonating there, Hal? You know what I was doing? What I was impersonating? The kitchen scene at Mrs. Doubtfire where Robin Williams.
Oh yes, with the pie and the
Yeah, and I actually like this for the Dolphins. Like trade down one and add another bite at the apple. Oh,
2 6th-round picks.
Both fifths, yes. This is
all right.
Deep trap at the Dolphins. You need all the picks you can to fill out your roster now.
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah. Well, and I think these next 2 picks have got to be Downs and Bain in some order. I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case. Would you?
Yeah. I don't know who else it would be, right? Like.
Yeah.
So Dallas 177, 180. There we go. Yep, 2 trades, no 27 capital leaving anybody here. So
it's the seller's market.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a seller's market last year, and it's even more so of a seller's market this year because at least last year we had blue chip talent at premium positions. This year we don't.
Exactly.
That's why Sonny Styles fell to 7. That's why Caleb Downs is still on the board. Yep. Or maybe, yes, if I'm the line, Peter Schrader in his mock had a trade between the Rams and Lions. Keep in mind, Brad Holmes worked as the Rams director of college scout before he became Lions GM. I would be willing to bet that he's on the phone with Leslie and Sean McVay right now.
Exactly. Yep. They got to get ahead of that.
Rams, if you really love Mekhi Lemon, I think you could move back and still get him at 17.
I agree. I don't see a run starting on wide receivers anytime soon.
Yeah.
I mean, Rams, Baltimore.
Rams or Baltimore are the 2 places to look for the Lions to trade up to because they have to jump Tampa and the Jets, who have been receiving calls from teams in the 20s. And Tampa, pretty much one name is constantly linked to them all week, and that's Messidor. And Messidor being 25, I think you have to trade back before you take him. 15 for Messidor is too rich for me.
Yeah, I agree. That's a pretty high spot for 25-year-old edge rusher.
Yeah, this has to be Ruben Bay. But if this is Malachi Lawrence here, I am going to flip.
Oh.
Because Jerry Jones has been notoriously known in the past for reaching based on the consensus board.
Yeah.
And this is no time to do so now, Jerry.
Yep. Easy decision here for Dallas. Who do you want? Bain or Downs?
Whichever the highest of those two is on the board, take him.
Right. Who do you have ranked ahead of who? And clearly they wanted one more than the other to trade up one spot. So
Yep. And the Dolphins probably used one of those two as a smokescreen to have them come up.
Yep.
Oh, God, this new draft format officially rocks. That's all I could say. We are gliding smoothly through the night.
This is great.
Yeah, 10 minutes was a waste of time.
Yep, exactly. And I'm sure somebody's going to have an article out tomorrow and be like, oh, we would have had more trades. No, it's the lack of talent that we don't have more trades. The extra 2 minutes isn't going to make a difference if teams want to move up or down. You know?
Yes. Well, 2 mistakes have been made because I'm sure you know the rules of the draft are when your time runs out on the clock, the team picking after you can turn in the card.
Yep, exactly.
Before you. And that's what happened to the Vikings in 2003 and the Chiefs in 2011.
Yeah, and the Vikings, they had a run. They had a run at teams, right? It was like 2 or 3 picks later they got theirs in. That was chaos. That was wonderful.
They still got Pat Williams, who's arguably a future Hall of Famer.
Right. They got their guy, but it was exciting.
Here we go. Come on, Roger. There we go. God, the night's going smooth. All right, here's Roger Goodell with the Cowboys' first of 2 picks on the night. Caleb Downs! Great job, Jerry. Right. And keep in mind, who's the new defensive coordinator? Who's the new defensive coordinator there, Hal? Christian Parker, and he knows how important safety play is. He got all-pro years out of Justin Simmons in Denver, and now he gets an even better player in Caleb Downs. And the safety position is increasingly important in this National Football League, as the Seahawks taught us. Downs might not be the athletic super freak as Nick Emenwari is, but boy, is he fundamentally sound at everything, and he wears all the hats imaginable. He was one of the blue-chip players in this class, in my opinion. A+, Jerry Jones.
Yep, Jerry did something right. I love it. Oh, how often do we see that?
And now I think the Dolphins take Ruben Bain, don't you?
Yep, I think it's got to be Bain. Yep.
Yeah, Rap Sheet said he was going in the top 12. This is it.
Unless somebody's
was lying
looking,
again.
or somebody's looking to jump the Rams here in this situation.
Yeah.
But the Rams, I mean, who would you be jumping the Rams for? Because you have no idea what they're going to do.
And the Rams, I think, would rather trade back than up.
Exactly.
Jay Glazer was right again. Yes, there's something about Glazer that makes him have the lowest miss percentage out of the vast majority of insiders. Because Jay Glazer is a guy that doesn't speak publicly until he's told to. The most of the time. He's very careful with things. He doesn't let something out of his mouth unless he's very confident about it. And that's no offense to Sheffield Ratchet, who are awesome, but there's something about Glazer that makes him on another planet, I would say.
Exactly. And, not to say anything against them, but, they do favors to get that information sometimes. And I'll leak this, even though I know it's not true, so I'll get the truth later.
But, and Glazer also has his own workout studio. He works players out himself. Which is what gives him a leg up in the information process.
Exactly.
So enough commentating about the insiders. We're going to talk about the draft. Ruben Bain Jr., yes, teams were reportedly very satisfied with his comments on his role in the car accident that killed a friend of his. But the family said that he wasn't necessarily the one to blame, the family of the victim, that is. And team said Bain explained, well, I think Bain just fell this far because of his arm length. And I think that Eric Sullivan, and during this time period, the Packers have taken some edge rushers that weren't the longest arm people. It just cannot be anyone other than Ruben Bain. That would be what a perfect way to start off your tenure as Dolphins GM than taking one of the best players in this class who fell to you.
Yeah.
And you had to could afford to trade down one spot and still get him.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what I just realized?
What?
Reese, Styles, Downs, they're all in the NFC East.
Whoa!
The Ohio
Talk about
defenses.
yes. Reese with the Giants, Styles with the Commanders, Caleb Downs to the Cowboys. NFC East opposing offensive coordinators' jobs just got a lot harder.
Look out, Eagles. They're coming for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Ooh.
All righty.
Yeah, so good spot for the Dolphins here. I like their, and again, I would think, unless Jason Taylor's telling them not to draft Ruben Bay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, they have needs across the board. You look at that Miami roster, that is bereft of talent. That's a complete we thought they tore it down, 7-8 years ago. This is like down to the studs,
Yeah, the Tennessee Titans threw this draft off course, but the Kansas City Chiefs outdid them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, those are easily the two most surprising picks of this draft by far.
All right, Dolphins on the clock at 12. Does Ruben Bain Jr. stay in the free state of Florida? Let's see.
With the 12th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Caden Proctor.
Whoa!
Wow, that's a surprise. They should have kept moving down. Gee.
It's the tackle panic. It's the tackle tax sale. Remember what Brandon Ford said about the tackle tax? It's in full effect. Caden Proctor. Wow. I'm going to have to give this a C+, believe it or not, because Cade Proctor is just so raw, and the history of similar Alabama tackles with his body type is just not good. Look at Evan Neal.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, gosh.
Although, if you want to play him at guard at first this year, that might be the best way to go here.
Yeah, I could see that. Develop him at guard and then slide him out.
How do you grade this? C+?
Yeah, that's a C minus for me. Yeah. I mean, I feel like you could have traded back 6-7 spots.
Actually, no. Lions were eyeing him, reportedly.
No, Lions had him too. Okay, so.
And at least you traded back one, so I'm going to give it a C+ kind of grade.
Yeah, I give him credit for moving back. That's at least they got a couple of fifths out of this.
Yeah, we gave the Caleb Downs pick an A for the Cowboys, right?
Yep. Oh, definitely.
And now the Rams. Ruben Bain Jr. fell to this spot, and I'm not going to let him going with the Rams. And the Rams got rid of, and they got Byron Young and Kobe Turner coming out of contract this year. Bain can fill both roles in a way.
He certainly, you're right. In a way, they can pick one and go with Bain for the other. Wow. So.
Yeah, it's like he had Braden Fisk rushing, collapsing the pocket inside. That would be a dream come true.
Yeah. Yeah, like when we mocked, they're in the position where they've got this bonus pick.
Or it's going to have to take a good offer to move them back from here.
Right, exactly. If you want more picks, you can move back or just get the best player on the board. That's all you got to do.
And the Rams have turned in their pick. It has to be Bain as opposed to Mekhi Lemon. I'm not saying I hate Mekhi Lemon, but Lemon, the fact that he's not big and not fast, receivers of that pedigree traditionally don't fare well in the NFL. There are exceptions, but if he succeeds, he'll be another exception to the rule.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, interesting.
Or
with all those tight ends, I'd be looking at Kenyon Sadiq too. They
Peter
love the
Schrager, who knows that team. He knows Sean McVay.
He knows McVay.
Well. He's reported there's a lot of Kenyon Sadiq intrigue in that building.
I believe it. I believe it. You know,
So
pioneering that
no,
free
no, no,
tight
no,
end.
no. It's either Bain or Sadiq here, not Lemon.
Yeah, I don't think it's Lemon. I think it's too high for Lemon here.
Bain or Sadiq, or here's a curveball for you. Keep in mind, Rob Havenstein retired. Could this be another tackle? It's the tackle tax, though. If Caden Proctor went the side, I won't blame the Rams for getting a right tackle here.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you can.
Like
if
Blake
you like
Miller,
Lomu, I think Lomu's more of a guard here from Utah, but
no, Fano, I think is more the guard. Lomu's more of the tackle.
Yeah. Okay.
Freeling, if you think you can move Alaric Jackson to the right side, or if you think Freeling can play right, but I think Freeling's a natural left tackle here.
Yeah, he's a natural left. So. Yeah, a lot of options here.
Yeah, so far, let's see what was the biggest 12 to 19, 7 spots, 9, it's 5 spots. 8 to 15, 7 spots. So tied for the biggest breaches relative to the Arifa consensus big board so far are Jordan Tyson to the Saints, which was like he was rated 7 spots lower, and Kane Proctor was also rated 7 spots lower on the board. But as they say, it's the Brandon Thorne, once again, broken record, but it's a tackle tax.
Yeah,
that's why nobody should be surprised if it's a tackle here for the Rams, because I think they could do better than McClendon and Alaric Jackson at their tackles.
I think so as well. You know, that's a sneaky need for them here.
But it has to be a game changer like Bain or Sadiq. Yeah. One of those two.
Yeah, 13 and Bain's still on the board. I'm not sure I expected that. So,
well, yeah. Actually, we had this was how our mock turned out. Hal,
that's right. That is how it worked out. You're right.
And I always kind of surmised that his real floor was 14 to Baltimore.
Yes. Yes. That'd be a good pick.
Oh, Ruben Bade is still on the phone. It doesn't look like he was picked here.
Woo. Yeah, I just flipped to ESPN and they're saying Mel Kiper's top pick available, Makai Lemon. I'm like, I don't know about that, you know.
Yeah, Mel Kiper wasn't as high on Bain as others were.
Right.
Oh, Ty Simpson, don't sleep on that.
Oh, geez, that's right. Quarterback. They could say, hey, here's where we get our replacement. Yikes.
Oh, this is another pivot point in this draft because Lord knows what the Rams are doing.
Right, exactly. That's where they're.
And like I heard several credible reporters said that don't assume it's a receiver here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little early for Makai Lemon.
Yeah, I think so too. A little early.
And this
for
is the
Makai
pick
Lemon.
the Rams got. What? Hal, did you see who they picked?
No.
All right.
No, it just says pick
Makai
is
Lemon,
in.
Kenyon Sadiq, Ruben Bade Jr., Ty Simpson, my guess, or a tackle. One of those 5 things.
Yep. Boy, I don't know where teams have Simpson rated, but this seems, this is ruining my plan for the Patriots getting capital at 31.
We're going to have a long drink if Ty Simpson is the pick here.
Oh, my God, yeah. Holy cow. I mean, this is way too early for Simpson. Jeez.
Yeah, the Rams are easily a far more ideal landing spot for Ty Simpson than the Cardinals because he's not going to have to play right away. He'll learn behind Matthew Stafford, and he'll be trained in that precision passing-based Sean McVay offense.
Yep.
The Rams, they weren't just a player or two away from the Super Bowl, Jeremiah. They were the real runners-up. No offense to the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. No offense. No, none taken.
So you got to take the best. Take the best player. If it's Ruben Bain, take him.
Yep.
Yeah, because Ruben Bain Jr. would be a perfect balance between short-term impact and long-term need because of the guys they have coming out of contract after this season, Kobe Turner and Byron Young.
Yep. Yeah, those
So here we
contracts
go.
coming up, they're not going
Rams.
to pay everyone. So.
Yep. Here is the 13th overall pick to the Rams that they got from the Falcons in last year's draft. Tyson!
Oh!
Drink!
Oh, man. Man.
Benjamin Albright was right, man. Never underestimate that man. Even though he might not work for a big TV network, don't underestimate my man, Benjamin Albright. He was right. Let's toast to Benjamin Albright. He got this one right. He was ahead of the curve. He was saying for months that Tyson's would go far earlier than people think. Ty Simpson.
Unbelievable. Did not expect that. Man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Whoa. So I'm going to give this pick a C for incomplete, and the C being the capital letter in the word. We're not going to know about this pick for another 5 years. They're looking at another Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre type situation here with the hope that he becomes even remotely close to the player Rodgers was and the player Jordan Love has become.
Yeah, I mean, I get the idea of when are we going to be up here this high in the draft, but this just isn't the year for it, I don't think.
Oh, God.
You know?
Now we got the reach. Ty Simpson was the 38th ranked player on Arif Hassan's board, but here's what I think. There was buzz connecting the Rams to Bo Nix, believe it or not, a couple years ago. But here's the difference. Bo Nix was arguably a better prospect because at least he has athletic traits to build around and size. Simpson has none of that.
Nope.
Yeah, you think Bo Nix was a better prospect coming in?
I mean, if you don't mind the age, you know, and again, I don't, you know, these super seniors that are coming out, I get the teams saying, hey, you know, but you start thinking about second contracts when you're drafting a guy. That's ridiculous. Get the best player regardless of the age. You know?
There is a lucky leprechaun in that Ravens draft room. They got 3 outstanding options here. David Yohane, the guard for Penn State, Kenyon Sadiq, admittedly to those two the most, but Ruben Bain is here too. One of those 3 would be a typical Ravens pick here, wouldn't it?
Yes, it definitely would. So,
especially Bain.
Yeah, especially.
But the value for Sadiq and Yohane is right here.
Yes. Yeah, that's the perfect spot for him. And again, having Bain drop into their laps as well, definitely someone they can use in Baltimore as well. Yeah, definitely missed that pass rushing. And, you know, with the report that Matabuke could be healthy enough to play too, that's a boost to that.
The pass rush. But keep in mind, do you know who the new offensive coordinator is in Baltimore? Declan Doyle, who was the Bears OC under Ben Johnson last year. And who did they draft in the first round last year? Colston Loveland. They probably see Kenyon Sadiq as somebody who could make a similar impact. Although I might not agree, but I'm not Declan Doyle, and
they lost Isaiah likely, so
and Mark Andrews is aging quickly.
Yes,
exactly. And what weapons do they have outside of Zay Flowers? None. But they also need offensive line help. He's here. It just depends on which of the class of the tight end or guard classes you like better.
Yep, exactly.
So, but their pick here, if they stay, it's Yohane, Sadiq, or Ruben Bain.
Yep.
And if it's
I would love to take Bain, have him opposite Hendrickson. Oh God, that sounds like a you know.
So did you give this pick the Ty Simpson pick a C as well in that area, or
yeah, C minus? You know, I think it's such a reach. I mean, maybe they were trying to trade back and nobody wanted to come up. I certainly believe that, but I feel like, you know, that's a reach for a quarterback.
Now the Ravens pick is in this next pick. These next 2 picks are the spots to watch for trade 3. Which of these tackle teams want to jump the Lions? I'm looking at both Pennsylvania teams, the Steelers and Eagles.
Steelers and Eagles both make sense for that. Yep, both of a giant need, and we know Detroit. I haven't seen a mock draft with Detroit anybody but a tackle here. So
Yeah. But if Ruben Bain falls to them,
wow.
Aiden Hutchinson, I would love that. That would be great value. Never reach
that's
for
beautiful.
you. Just let your offense struggle for the time being while your defense improves its best ever in your tenure.
Yep, exactly.
Strengths of the team evolve. This is constant roster evolution. What's going on here? All right, the Ravens on the clock at 14 here. Who do they pick? Vega Ioane.
Yeah. All right.
So the dream of Ioane falling to the Chargers is crushed. I got to give this, believe it or not, I'm giving this an A- or A because Brandon Ford said Ioane is the best, was the best offensive lineman period in this class. And Daniel Jeremiah is talking about if there's any rookie who has a chance to be a Pro Bowl or All Pro this year, it's him.
It's him. Yep. And definitely
it all starts with the trenches first. The Ravens always go trenches first, and they stuck to their formula. I'm actually going to give it an A. The Ravens stuck to their principles here. They didn't get cute. They didn't go after Sadiq. It had to be either Bain or Ioane. They made the right choice. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have faulted them for going for Bain here at all, but I think they were locked in at we got to get that Mahler mentality back, take advantage of Derrick Henry and Lamar there, and get them some blocking up front. So, they know it's all in the trenches there in Baltimore.
Maybe Jason Light stays here and takes Ruben Bain. The Bucs need an edge too.
Ooh, they need an edge. That's right. That's a good spot for them to get Bain. Ooh.
What a wild draft this is.
Man, this is
yeah, we've had just 2 trades so far. We might only have 1 or 2 more tops, and the Bucs are staying.
Okay.
Sadiq is another name to watch here. They need a tight end.
Yeah,
but whatever happens, Jason Light is going to take the best guy on the board. Period. No matter what, he's like kind of like
that's his MO.
That way. He did it with Agbuka last year, so Sadiq would make a lot of sense here. Let's see, or Bain. If Bain is far apart on their board compared to everyone else, he'll be the pick.
Yeah, they have that need at edge rusher definitely. So for them, I mean. Bain is like if the pick's already in, I'd be running it up there too. I think
with Ruben Bain Jr. He'll stay with the Rams all the time in the same city.
A little bit of an upgrade there at edge rusher if they get Bain for sure.
But so Ioane, you have that as a B+ or an A- pick.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
A-
or A. I think I'll give it a B+. I think they, I preferred Bain there, and I think they just locked in on, we're getting an interior offensive lineman here. Period,
maybe Jesse Minter. Also, I think Jesse Minter might prefer length too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he wouldn't. I don't think Bain would be his top choice.
And Light is from the Patriots tree, and the Patriots are a team that doesn't consider length as much as most other teams. So this isn't Ruben Bain here, where does he go? Where does he go?
I mean, I don't see the Jets taking him at 16. Go on.
No. Jets are probably eyeing Omar Cooper Jr., Mekhi Lemon, or a trade back.
Yep.
Either 2 receivers or a trade back. The phone is probably ringing now. Steelers or Eagles want to get in front of the Lions here because we got 3 tackles off the board already.
Damn.
Oh, boy.
Ty Simpson going that high. Jeez, I did not think.
This year's draft is fun. Next year's draft should be even more fun.
Oh, my God, yeah.
It might be a little more predictable because there's more blue chip talent, but still – you never know in this business. You never know how this draft's going to fall.
Exactly.
Surprises every single year. Yeah, and Rap Sheet was out of something. Les Snead said to Ty Simpson's father that we think he's a first-round talent. He wasn't joking. He wasn't just doing a favor for a friend.
Exactly. Wow. I mean, I thought, late 20s, 30 was overdrafting Ty Simpson.
Yeah, but they might have done the Cardinals a favor here because the Cardinals, they're not ready for him.
Right, exactly. Yeah, the Cardinals should be looking at 2027. Take their lumps this year with whoever
Yep.
you can keep healthy there.
With Jacoby Brissett or
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love will be your offense this year anyways. But if the
Exactly.
Cardinals are to trade back to the first round, I wouldn't be surprised if it's for a guard or a free-falling tackle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if one of those 7 tackles is still on the board, I could see that definitely.
All right, but now the Bucks at 15. This has to be Ruben Bain, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine him going past here.
Jason, especially past a guy like Jason Light.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
Arguably, he's one of the top 5 GMs in the league. The Bucks. Oh, he's fired up. They know they got to steal.
That's what you do when you've got a top
That's what
10.
you do when you draft Ruben Bain Jr. there. Ah!
That's when you say I stayed at 15 and I got a top 10 talent dropped into my lap.
Todd
Yep.
Bowles fighting for his job.
Oh.
They need that impact player on defense badly.
Yeah, and like you said, Light coming from New England, Bill Belichick loved those tweeners out there on the edge. 260, 270, perfect for him. He did not care,
Yes. Yes, I'm sure I understand why you would prefer Bade for the Ravens, but Ioane, I said, made equally as much sense.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yep.
And it's all about protecting Lamar, and they got arguably the best offensive lineman in the class.
Yeah, protecting Lamar and get Derrick Henry, because when Henry was on, that offense moved, and when Henry's getting hit in the backfield, that offense is nothing. So, got to get that going.
All right, so this should be where the fall of Ruben Bain Jr. ends, just up the Florida coastline from Miami to Tampa. Let's see. Come on, Roger Goodell. Here we go. Ruben Bain Jr. Ruben Bain Jr.
All right. Finally.
A plus plus plus.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to get the Simpsons grade.
Right
A plus plus plus.
I mean, best pick of the draft right here. Sit at 15. Don't have to move up. Top 10 talent falls into your lap. I mean, beautiful.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Halfway through, I'm saying
his arms might be short, but his hands are anvils. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
A plus plus plus. You stole a Mekabuka Jason Light stole a Mekabuka last year. He stole Ruben Bain Jr. this year. That's all there is to it.
Man.
And now the Jets. This is an opportunity for a trade back. Steelers, Eagles, any tackling team want to come up?
Yep, Jets can use every pick you give them. So they're like the Dolphins.
Yeah, the Jets roster isn't that much better than the Dolphins roster is now.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, so which of these 4 moves are the worst moves of the night? Carnell Tate to the Titans at 4. Chiefs trading up in front of Washington to take Monster Delane. Miami taking Caden Proctor, or the Rams taking Ty Simpson.
It's got to be Ty Simpson, man. I mean, that one is
he's an outlier.
Such an outlier,
If you think Ruben Bain's short arms are an outlier, Ty Simpson's body type and skill set's an outlier. How many quarterbacks at 6'1" with no freakish athletic tools fare well in the NFL?
Yeah, not since 1950, David, Oh, God. Yeah, that's
right. And the Jets are picking here at 16. If it's a receiver, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Omar Cooper Jr. ahead of Mekhi Lemon here, believe it or not.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I would not be surprised at all. Yeah.
Yes. And back to Vega Ioane for a moment. Daily Jeremiah had Chargers fans hoping last night that Ioane would fall to them at 22 because he had that happening in his mock draft, but turns out the Ravens were after him all this time after all.
Yeah.
So some Chargers fans are saying, fuck you, Jesse Minter, after that pick. Oh, boy. Yeah. But as much as I love this Bucs roster, the X factor truly remains Baker Mayfield. If Baker Mayfield doesn't match his play from the 2024 and 2023 this year, it's going to be very hard for them to go on any sort of run.
Exactly. And, I mean, they have talented offensive linemen. They just got to keep them healthy. That's the,
Yes, but you just added firepower to that defense with Ruben Day Jr.
Well, they needed a shot on the arm on defense.
Jets have turned their pick here. I would say this is Omar Cooper, Judy McKay-Lemon, or maybe Casey Concepcion.
Yeah, a little early for him, but I wouldn't be surprised in the least. We talked about
because after the first two receivers, it's like an ice cream store.
Exactly. What flavor do you want here?
Yeah, but Rich Samini has mentioned Omar Cooper Jr.'s name, but no a reporter on that beat is more plugged into that team than Rich Samini.
Yep, exactly. He does fantastic work for them. The poor man covering the Jets all these years, too.
Oh, my God. For all the NFL teams who think you have crummy ownership, which most likely you do, the Jets are a special kind of crummy.
Jets
when it comes to ownership.
are their own breed, Oh. Gosh. Yeah. Oh God. I would be looking at Cooper here if it was me. That's
Cooper.
Ball. Get up and get the ball. Run after catch. Has the speed. You can play him in the slot. You can play him outside. Move him all over the place. Does everything.
Here we go. Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end.
All right, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, this is good value here. Kenyon Sadiq was number 16 out of Reefus Odds Consensus Board. He's the 16th pick. Perfect value.
Yep, they got their value.
He's a bit of he does have some developing to do. He needs to cut down on the drops. And those short arms beg the question, but.
Some 4.4 speed with a tight end, man. That's inhuman.
He's a more than willing blocker. He's an above average blocker, dare I say. Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end. Straight A here.
Straight A, smart move. Yep.
Yes, David Bailey, Kenyon Sadiq. That is not a bad haul at all for Darren Muji.
Not bad at all.
So luckily for the Lions, they're going to get their tackle choice at 17. There were no trades in front of them due to how the board fell. But if there was one tackle that's going to go here, I would say it's Blake Miller. If you're to move Penny Sewell to the left side, Blake Miller fits right in on that right side seamlessly. And he's the quintessential Dan Campbell player who loves football more than anything else in the world. No matter how hurt he was at Clemson, he just refused to miss practice. That's a Dan Campbell player. I would be shocked if this isn't Blake Miller here.
I agree. And he like you said, he checks all the boxes there and, has that experience.
Or dare I say Monroe Freeling would I wouldn't object to Monroe Freeling here either. Like if you want to keep Penny Sewell at the right tackle spot, Freeling could slide immediately to that blindside spot for you, and you got a great offensive line coach in Hank Fraley. I would be bullish with either Freeling or Blake Miller here. Either one of those two makes sense.
Yeah, either one of those two make perfect sense. You want to get the experienced plug and play, you can go with Miller. Like you said, if you want to keep Sewell on the right side, grab Freeling, you're fine that way. So they have their choice here. It's just a matter of their preference at this point.
She's got 12 items. Okay, eyes on your own basket. Young homeowners turning into their parents who love rules. Come on, man. Let's go. Everybody knows you're not supposed to put yard waste in the trash, man. Let's go. It's a thing. There's dedicated RV parking around the back.
All right, so I'm thinking it's either Monroe Freeling or Blake Miller here. One of those two tackles.
That makes the most sense. I mean, we know it's going to be a tackle. Has to be a tackle, right? So. Yeah, exactly. It's what
Yeah,
do they want to do?
it's the tackle tax right here.
Yep.
Although Miller is 31 on Arif's board, but Freeling is 18. Freeling's much better value.
Yeah.
But it depends on which tackle they have higher on their board, what their real intentions were with Penny Sewell.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, some people think Dan Campbell just said what he said to smokescreen people to think teams think that he wasn't taking Proctor, but teams apparently didn't believe it.
Yeah.
They believed Proctor was their preference, and Proctor is that body type that the Lions like. So.
Yep. Yeah, he's got that size and
Yeah, so you give Sadiq an A for the Jets at
oh yeah,
16.
definitely. That's a straight A, no doubt about it. They get an impact player on offense, and they didn't reach for Makai Lemon. That alone is going to give them an A. So
Yeah, and Tata with he and Garrett Wilson as your top two receiving options, you could do far worse than that.
yep, exactly.
Yeah, and Gino, being the veteran he is, should get the most out of him, especially considering he's arguably got a much better offensive line this year than he had last year.
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
All right, Lions. Is it Monroe Freeling or Blake Miller? Who is your pick here? Although Tony Pauling said that the other tackle they were looking after Cypher Proctor was Monroe Freeling. Let's see if he was onto something here.
All right.
And once again, this is not to keep score. I'm just trying to go back in my mind to see what's been said.
That's fine. I'm keeping score. That's no problem. I'll keep score on them. So.
Yes, and unless the Vikings trade out of 18, I personally believe the pick there is going to be Dylan Tiedemann.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been mocked to them nonstop.
And he's been saying that he's not going to fall past 19 to the Panthers. So, and Harrison Smith, there's a good chance he's going to retire. So they'll take him.
It makes sense, and it's a smart plan. Get him a year in with Harrison Smith there to absorb that knowledge. It makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, there were reports today that Makai Lemon would fall. I'm not sure who it was, but they were right. And for good reason. He's not the fastest and not the biggest. And, and like I said, it's an ice cream story after Tate and Tyson.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, if you've got guys with the, Concepcion, if he can, you work on him with racing those drops, and you've got, one of the best wide receivers out there, Omar Cooper, what he did at Indiana this year, fantastic,
All right,
so
Lions here. So either Freeling or Miller, I'd be equally as okay with either, though. Would you?
Yeah, either or, whatever
and
their
the
flavor.
Make-A-Wish kid is announcing the pick for the Lions.
Excellent.
Finally, we got a Make-A-Wish kid on the stage tonight. That's good.
The NFL is proud to be part of the global community of wish makers, taking action to support Make-A-Wish during World Wish Month. Tonight, you will have the opportunity to help grant an unforgettable wish. I'm joined here by Easton, a 14-year-old Lions fan whose wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team.
Mason, all right.
I'd like to ask all of you to join me in cheering on Easton.
Easton. Let's go, Easton. Everybody give Easton a hand, folks. All of America should be cheering him now. Here we go.
With the 17th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Blake Miller.
Blake Miller it is.
There
Oh,
he
I
is.
knew it. He
All
was
right.
such a Jack Campbell player. B+. B+.
Yep. Solid,
I understand
solid
this is a reach based on the consensus board, but it's the tackle tax. You have to factor that in.
Exactly, and
And,
you know,
and he really did want to move Sewell to left tackle, or or was he at least considering it? This is a best. Sewell knows how to play left tackle because he played in college, and Blake Miller is your new anchor on the right side. B+, middle of the fairway pick. He's experienced. He's tough. Fundamentally sound.
exactly. Anything you're looking for out of right tackle, you got it in Blake Miller. Solid pick here. And again, like you said, Sewell will be happy to be playing at left tackle. He's got no problem with that. It's not like you're moving him out of into an uncomfortable position there. So
Yeah. So the Vikings, if the reporting here is true, this is Dylan Tiedemann.
that makes sense. Yep.
But if they don't take him, I think Carolina definitely takes him.
Yeah, he should not last much. He shouldn't be getting to 20. That's for sure.
Yeah. And the Lions don't give a damn about a reef sport. He says it all the time.
Yeah.
Because Tyree Williams last year was, I think he was even an even bigger reach than this
Yes,
one.
I agree. He definitely was. Yep.
All right. So if it's anything but Dylan Tiedemann here, I'd be shocked. Although Colton Hood could be a curveball because his press man corner style fits Flores' defense.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Caleb Banks!
Wow!
Chuck Pellicero, you were right. This Caleb Banks was going to the first round tonight. Wow, my goodness. This is risky, though. I'm giving it a C+ because the upside is dazzling, but the injuries and inconsistencies alarming. C+.
Wow. Yeah,
C+. This is why the Vikings have to hire a full-time GM. I don't think Rob Brzezinski's cut out for this. You're the salary cap guy, Rob. Although Howie was a salary cap guy, but you're not Howie Rob Brzezinski.
Yeah, clearly not. Wow. Geez.
This is now the second biggest reach of the first round. The Vikings took Arif's 37th ranked player at 18. So Dylan Tiedemann, if it's not one of the wide receivers here, Cooper or Lemon, it's got to be Dylan Tiedemann here.
Yeah, that makes
Eagles. Sense. Eagles traded ahead of the Steelers. Oh my God, this is a nightmare.
Oh,
And they get help from the Cowboys. Keep in mind, the Cowboys traded back with Philly in 2021, where Philly took Devontae Smith and the Cowboys took Micah Parsons. Right. And now they do something similar here. Cowboys moved down from 20. I think Philly's going with it depends on Monroe Freeland. Can he play? Do you think he can play right tackle? It depends. So you got the Steelers. We're looking for. I think you're looking for a Lane Johnson replacement, and I think so too. A Hanachor might make more sense here.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends on what your new offensive line coach Chris Cooper thinks. Can Freeling switch to right tackle? And no, Freeling will make sense. Like, God, it's interesting. Although I think Freeling, based on the consensus board, is the better tackle, but teams have these tackles graded differently. We don't know for sure what these teams are doing with these tackles here. I don't know. But Panthers, I'm thinking one of Lemon or Cooper to be that perfect complement to Tedder McMillan. But if reporting is true, Dylan Tiedemann will be perfect. You need a center fielder on the back end of that defense. Ejiro Evero coached Justin Simmons for a year in Denver, and he knows what good safety play is. And I think he's good. And I think he sees shades of Justin Simmons in Dylan Tiedemann. So he's
definitely.
Yeah, so you give that a C+, C- pick for the Vikings with Caleb Banks there.
I give it a D. Man, I'm telling you, that's a big stretch. I mean, maybe that foot's healthy enough, but even then, he's still developmental prospect there. He has the tools, but hasn't put it together yet. So, yeah, that might be the biggest reach of the draft now for.
Yeah, Caleb Banks easily.
That might be Ty Simpson.
Second to Ty Simpson, according to Arif's board here.
Yeah, okay. And I mean, Simpson. We know teams are going to reach for the quarterbacks. We know.
By the way, we have a third trade, so drink to that.
Oh, shoot. Yeah. Ooh. Oh,
Oh, we're already at pick 19, and it is
great.
only 9:53 on the East Coast.
Yeah, this is great for me. This is wonderful.
And this is good for the process too. It smooths it out. It doesn't make any waste bits. We're not like biting our nails all the time. This makes the process go much smoother. It's like the second round.
Yes,
Now.
exactly.
Just 1 minute longer
Yes.
than the second round. Perfect. It's one of the rare perfect rule changes the NFL has made in recent
Yes,
years.
this one, perfect. Yep.
All right. So Tiedemann are one of those two receivers here, correct?
That makes
we
the
can't
most sense
sleep.
to me.
We can't sleep on Monroe Freely here either.
That's true, too.
Because Icky Aquanu, like us,
Yes.
will suffer the torn patellar tendon on the same day. There's a good chance neither of those guys return to their previous form.
That's true,
Isn't
too.
it?
Yeah, that's
So
exactly
Freely
right.
could
Oof.
be a wild card here.
Yep. Yeah, Carolina, plenty to offensive
Yeah,
line.
I know you
definitely
signed
players.
Rasheed Walker in free agency, but you only gave him a 1-year deal.
Yep.
Yeah, see, how many tackles have gone so far? 1, 2, 3, 4 tackles, and I think we see the 5th and 6th come off within the next 3 picks.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of tackles flying off the board here.
The 5th and 6th coming off 20 and 21, depending on what those teams have on their boards.
With the 19th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Monroe Freely.
There we go. You called that one. All right. They got the big guy. All right.
And
A little icky insurance. All right.
so Dylan Tiedemann is falling a little bit here.
Yeah.
Heck,
Yeah, I don't see him
so
going.
Monroe Freely, he can fall to the Bears' lap at 25, and if the Bears have a higher grade on him compared to all these edge rushers, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the pick here.
Yep. That makes perfect sense. Definitely a need there.
B plus here. I'm really high on Freeling's upside, and you cannot bet on Icky Aquanu returning to prior form, previous form due to that torn patellar tendon injury.
Yeah, exactly. And like you
I
said,
think the
1-year
Eagles
deal.
are going to take my man Max Ahanachor here. The Steelers, he was mocked to the Steelers in a couple mocks, and I think they're eyeing Ahanachor here. Ahanachor. I've been mocking him to them nonstop this whole process. I think they view him as an ideal heir to Lane Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. Like we talked about during the mock, like the Eagles, if you're not going to draft a tackle this year, like you're going to wait till next year where you have to, and it becomes because we know there's not going to be any free agents. So they don't have the depth there. This is the time to get them in.
So here's the Eagles pick at 20. Oh, they need a safety. This could be Tiedemann.
This could be Tiedemann. They could be looking for another pass rusher. We haven't seen Falk yet.
Makai Lemon!
Oh.
They're addressing A.J. Brown's eventual departure. Makai Lemon, believe it or not, I'm going to give this a B plus because he's the perfect 2 to Devontae Smith's 1 after you get rid of A.J. Brown.
He doesn't have to go in and be the guy. That's going to be huge for Lemon. Exactly. Yep. Let Devontae Smith take the top off and be that number 1 guy.
And we had Makai Lemon going to the Steelers at 21. They probably leapfrogged the Steelers for Lemon.
Yes, it makes perfect sense.
Perfect spot between Michael Pittman Jr. and DK Metcalf. Although, if I have the Steelers here, take the best player on the board, which is, I believe it's Dylan Tiedemann.
Yep.
Yeah, Jermon McCoy actually is the top-rated player left on the Reefs board, but the second is Tiedemann. Just take Tiedemann here, Pittsburgh. Don't reach for a need at tackle receiver. Just draft the best player for a change. Don't reach for need. That's been a nasty habit of yours in recent years, hasn't it?
Well, it definitely has been the overreach, and I guess for Pittsburgh, you kind of have the fans should be a little happy because there's no reaching for Ty Simpson here. So
Yeah. hell, we got to. The Steelers are on the clock now. You know what that means?
Oh, Jeez, you're right. Oh,
Renegade,
time.
let's sing it. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law. Lawman has put an end to my running, and I'm so far from my home. Oh, mama, I could hear you were crying. You're so scared and all alone. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. The jig is up, the news is up, they finally found me. The renegade who had it made retreat for a bounty. Never more to go astray. This will be the end today of the wanted man.
Oh, David,
So-
my phone's blowing up. A.J. Brown to the Patriots for sure. A.J. Brown. Oh, we got him now, right?
Of course, this was always going to happen. Always going to happen. This was always going to happen. And I think this is a B+, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, this is the right spot to get Lemon, you know? This isn't a reach or anything. So this is where he should have. I had him slotted.
So I'm looking at Dylan Tiedemann, Omar Cooper Jr., or maybe Caleb Loma or Max Ahanich are here, one of those four for the Steelers. But I think Tiedemann and Omar Cooper Jr. are much better value.
Yes, exactly. And both of those definitely positions of need. You got two solid players there. You don't have to reach.
Oh, yeah. Now we got to hear Renegade from the television.
Here we go.
Guy Lemon here.
All right.
Yeah. Nobody had this first round shaken out this way.
No, nobody did. That is for sure.
It was easily the most unpredictable draft in recent years.
Yep,
This
by
truly
far.
was.
No doubt about it. Jeez.
Here we go. Renegade time from the stadium. Ooh. They're doing Thunderstruck now. And they're showing a video. I'm in, yeah, from the long arm of the law. Lawman is put an end to my time, and I'm so far from my home. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life. You're so scared and all alone. Hangman is coming down from the gallows, and I don't have very long. The jig is up, that's finally found me. The renegade who had made retreat for a bounty. Never want to go astray. This will be the end today of the wanted man. I love it. This has to be one of the 10 best stadium traditions in all of the NFL. The playing of Renegade at Acrisure Stadium at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Wouldn't you say so?
Exactly, without a doubt.
Just take
Trying
Dylan
to think
Tiedemann,
of one
who's
better.
the best
I
player on
can't.
the
So
board.
yeah.
Yeah. So do you think Dylan Tiedemann's the best player left on the board, arguably, regardless of position?
Best player on my board, yeah, regardless of position. And like I said, position
Steelers
of
could use
need.
help anywhere on that defense now. Anywhere.
That defense aging out, and pay the tackle pay the tackle for tax could be here. Wide receiver.
Jerome Bettis and a bunch of local high school football players sit out. So big Finn the Bus gets announced. There's very few guys more charismatic of the former Steelers Hall of Famers than the Bus.
The Bus, yep.
Bus, one of the toughest SOBs I've ever seen play football, man. He was so big and powerful, yet so nimble at the same time, wasn't he?
He was. Him and Beast Mode, cut from the same cloth there.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh. Oh, damn. Damn. Get back in, get back. Come on. TV was off.
Oh, jeez.
Max Ahanacho!
There we go.
Pass.
There we go.
Solid B. Max
Solid
Ahanacho
B.
is a late bloomer. He's only been playing organized football for since 2021, but he's approved every single year. He is. I actually like him. He was one of my favorite prospects here.
Yep. I was hoping he'd fall to New England, but the dream is over. So the tackle's going off the board way too quick. So
the Chargers. Now this is where Tiedemann makes sense. The Chargers operate like the Ravens.
Yep.
This could be Dylan Tiedemann, Jermon McCoy if they think the knee is fine, or a trade back here, or an edge rusher. I think they're looking at those two guys or a trade back before those edges, though.
Oh, yeah, I think so, too. Makes sense for the Chargers, yep.
Yeah, what's your grade for the Max Ahanacho pick here?
Solid B+, you know. Yeah. Position of need, good, you know, not an overreach by any stretch with the tackles coming off the board here like they are.
Six tackles in the top 21, just like we expected.
Yep.
Yeah, so Chargers, Dylan Tiedemann, Jermon McCoy, or a trade back here. Those are your three objectives. Wouldn't you say so?
Or because offensive line, but
trade back and get those guards. Trade back.
Yeah, you can get that. You can trade back for the guards. Here would be a reach. I think you're right. Yep.
But this is the part of the first round where it's the ice cream store, where there's a wide divergence. So we could hear a surprise name go here at the end of the day.
Yeah. Do they reach for Kalen Rutledge? Here we go, right?
Keelan Rutledge, that wouldn't surprise me.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. That interior offensive line was
the Chargers returned the pick, but I just do it the Ravens style. Joe Ortiz comes from Baltimore. That he operates that way. Dylan Tiedemann or Jermon McCoy.
Yep. Take the top of the board, best player.
Yeah. Whoa. Richard Eisen was alluded to the Cowboys moving back again. Yeah, we could see some of these edge rushers come off the board here because most of them are second-round talents, but this is only a draft with only 12 true first-round quality players.
Right, exactly. We're into the second round here, basically.
And the last one of them went off the board at 15.
Yep. So we're in.
Chargers needed edge rusher, but I think the much better value is with Dylan Tiedemann or Jermon McCoy here.
Value or need? That's where we're gonna end up here.
Chargers select Akeem Mesidor.
Messidor! Wow!
Ooh, there's the
Hey, Gray
edge. All
addressed
right.
the edge.
All right. Yeah, solid B, I guess. Right. So.
Yeah, B. The Chargers are in win now mode. You got Mike McDaniel
Yep.
coordinating the offense now. You got Slater and Alt both coming back. This is a team capable of making a deep playoff run. They have the talent necessary. And you needed another body up front. Messidor, he might be older, but he's going to give you an immediate impact. So it's a solid
Exactly.
B. It's typical Baltimore Ravens fairway shot, by the way.
Exactly. Right down the fairway as usual. Yep. You know exactly what you're getting. You're going to get production from day one.
Yeah.
Solid.
Absolutely.
Now, Dallas needs a cornerback, right? So.
Colton Hood. Watch out for Colton Hood here if they go corner. But if they want to go edge, the name to watch is Malachi Lawrence out of UCF. Because that's a guy they've been heavily leaked with these past 24-plus hours. Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, would not have taken the bet of Tyneman on the board still at this point of the draft before we started.
Yeah, he would make a lot of sense for the Bears. I know they signed Kobe Bryant, but I think he plays a role different from Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Don't you think so?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Different
or
player.
If the Cowboys want to go edge rusher, another potential name, let's lead to them, is Keldrick Falk, because Christian Parker needs big guys who can set the edge. And plus, they traded away Osa Odigizua, and
right,
Falk can
exactly.
Be your edge, your run setting edge in base packages, but slide him inside over the guard on sub packages.
Yeah, that makes
Keldrick
sense.
Falk, Malachi Lawrence, or Colton Hood.
Yeah.
Could they double up with Tiedemann?
I mean,
taking 250s. It would be good value, but you already took downs. No need to
You've
double
already
up on
got downs. Yeah. I said I could see staying in the secondary with a cornerback, but you know.
And Jeremy Fowler with the Browns up after this pick at 24. He reported that the Browns are the floor for Omar Cooper Jr., who has been mentioned as a seamless fit for the Todd Monken offense due to the run after catch ability he provides. Like Zay Flowers was a similar type of guy that Baltimore picked when he was OC there. And so the Browns wanted to lead with the tackle and wide receiver. They got the tackle and Fano. And unless the Cowboys, although the Cooper could be a curveball here, because keep in mind, George Pickens is signing his franchise tag. That puts a potential trade on the table.
That's right.
And it's the team's preference that he do play on the tag this year, because they want to gauge his character for one more season because of his character concerns.
Well, I mean, exactly. That's why Pittsburgh basically gave him away for all intents and purposes there. So.
Or are the Cowboys trying to trade out here? They could be trying to trade out
again.
They
could be trying. Yep.
A receiver team or an offensive line needy team trying to move up ahead of the Bears. Oh, no, they turned the pick in.
Oh, okay.
I kept seeing this ad for 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for $7 from Friday Plans and figured it was too good to be true. So I investigated. I went to FridayPlansClub.com and got a free prescription after filling out a quick form. Friday Plans also gave me free 3-day shipping, and it arrived in plain, discreet packaging. I tried my first tablet, and within 30 minutes, I could tell it was working. It works exactly like the name brand. Who knows how long this will last? Go to FridayPlansClub.com and get yours today.
Look, if you're an executive, this shirt is a must-have in your closet. I was tired of floppy collars and shirts with sweatshirts.
So Malachi Lawrence, Keldrick Falk, maybe Omar Cooper Jr. here, or Colton Hood, either the corner, those two edges, or the wide receiver.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Free from uncomfortable long sleeves, and the collar stays stiff all day. Get 20% off today using code TV at collarsandcode.com.
Jerry wouldn't do anything crazy like Jermod McCoy or something, right?
Yeah.
Like a crazy stretch like that.
Yes.
Yeah, Falk makes a lot of sense here. You know, the sensible.
Yeah.
Yeah, for all we pick on Jerry, the Cowboys have done a good job drafting. Yeah, especially the last
Yes.
5. Yeah.
Yeah. The Cowboys do not intend to trade him. Translation, what Rapsheet said in TeamSpeak means offers aren't rich enough now. Don't you think so? But let's
That's
see
exactly what that sounds like. You didn't offer me enough, so.
Do they take Omar Cooper Jr., Malachi Lawrence, Keldrick Falk, Colton Hood? One of those 4 guys, I think, is the pick here based on what was buzzing around these past several days.
Yeah.
In the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select
Malachi Lawrence.
There he
that
goes.
was right. And that's a drastic reach. CC minus for me. He's older. He's under. His run defense leaves a lot to be desired. This is the typical Jerry Jones reach pick based on traits. C minus for me. Would you say so?
Yeah, I got that as a C. I mean, Keldrick Fox sitting right there. Easy pick for you, right? Yeah. Too many other options on the table. Colton Hood still
I'll
there.
actually give it a C maybe because they traded down at least.
Yeah, at least they traded down. That's right. We'll give them credit for that. They went back a couple of picks and.
Yeah, Omar Cooper Jr. for sure here to Cleveland. They wanted to leave the first round with a tackle wide receiver. Cooper is by far the best receiver left.
Yep. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So Jerry Jones hit it out of the park with the first pick and made one of his typical questionable bets on traits.
Yep.
Or does Cleveland take Tiedemann here if he's the best player on the board? All depends on.
Ooh.
Tiedemann for the Bears, I could easily see them taking him, and here's why. Ben Johnson comes from Detroit. He doesn't give a crap about positional value.
Yep.
And if they have a higher grade on Tiedemann than all the other edges on their board, they will take Tiedemann. Just like they went with Colson Loveland last year when the tackles ran dry by the time they picked.
That's right.
Or another point. 2 other possibilities I'm watching for the Bears at the next pick. I just know this is going to be Omar Cooper Jr. here. But for the Bears' next pick, Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker are 2 edges that are the Dennis Allen prototype here, and both actually do represent good value based on the Arifa consensus board. Keldrick Falk is 20, TJ Parker is 30, so this is the range for them. And Tiedemann or a trade back maybe. Or Caleb Lomu. Caleb Lomu. If you are sold on him and his ability to build strength, he could be the pick for the Bears at 25.
Yeah, I really like Tiedemann there for him. You know, I mean,
absolutely. It would be the best value. It would be perfect value.
It'd be perfect value. And look, you've got Kobe Bryant, but you know, you can put him back there with Kobe Bryant, and you're gonna. I mean, who's the other safety they signed this offseason? From Buffalo.
They did sign one, Cam Lewis, but I don't think he's
Cam Lewis is a backup. But yeah, exactly. You know, like yeah, they could safety's definitely a need for them. Heineman sitting there, that just makes all the sense in the world to grab him.
I wonder why he's falling. Probably positional value, I suppose.
Yep.
Tackle tax. Pushing him down the board.
Makes sense. You still got wide receivers and edges that are going to be coming off the board here.
Yeah, Malachi Lawrence is officially the biggest reach of this first round based on the Arifa consensus big board. Yeah, Cowboys took him at 23. Lawrence is 48.
Ooh.
Vintage Jerry there.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me for a second, Hal. I got to turn the lights on here because the sun is setting in Southern California.
Not a problem. I need another drink anyway, so good timing.
A time to start new jobs, tackle new projects, and stock up on new tools at Harbor Freight. Whether you're a pro,
Hal, you still there?
we've got the quality tools.
There is Hal.
To start your new year off right. So come celebrate spring savings at Harbor Freight. Turn the offseason on again with the NFL app. Your home for all things NFL. And subscribe to NFL Plus.
Hal, you still there?
For the picks, the plays, all in one place. Scan now for 40% off NFL Plus. Here you leave today. Enter a world of cool kids.
This is the road to the NBA Finals on ESPN and ABC. Greatness is up for grabs, and it's all happening now. Just when the NBA playoffs continue.
All right, so we're back here. So the Browns have turned their pick in, which we fully expect to be Omar Cooper Jr. here.
Yeah, wide receiver makes a lot
Or
of
Casey Concepcion, one of those two.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But Cooper makes sense because I think he's more of a compliment to Jerry Jeudy than Casey Concepcion is.
Yeah. Yeah. Concepcion kind of cut from the same cloth there. So,
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy and Concepcion, not Cooper and Jeudy. You need a
right.
more-
That's what I meant. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Oh, Bears have traded back?
Oh,
Oh, no. He was talking about the Browns trading back for these spots, not the
okay.
Bears. Here we go. The Browns. Pick is in at 24, which we expect to be one of those two receivers.
With the 24th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Casey Concepcion.
It's
Ooh,
Concepcion.
it is. Ooh.
Well, keep in mind, Jerry Jeudy isn't getting any younger.
That's
This
true.
is already his 7th year in the league.
Ooh.
And I believe his contract becomes expendable. I think this is an analytics play to take the heir to Jerry Jeudy within the next 2 years.
All right. Yeah, I guess
So
that makes
Casey
sense.
Concepcion, I think I'm going to give this one a B.
B minus. I'm
B
giving
minus,
it a B
yeah.
minus. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think he's just a carbon copy of Jeudy. When you're building a receiver, we have to go complimentary. So that's it there. So Casey Concepcion, B minus there, but he was good value. That round's gone to 24. He was the 23rd ranked player on Arif Hassan's big board. But he was easily the best separator in this class.
Yes. As far as separator that way, ability to get open, definitely a quarterback's friend. So
Yeah, so once
whoever
again,
ends up as quarterback,
the two most ideal things for the Bears here are Dylan Tiedemann or a trade back, but they have a glaring need on that defensive line. Peter Woods could be in play here, the D tackle from
Yep.
Clemson.
makes sense. Yep.
Peter Woods, Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker, Caleb Lomu, Tiedemann. I think it's one of those 5. If it's not Tiedemann, it's one of the former 4.
Yep.
Yeah, and let's see the Bears are still on the clock with 2 minutes left. Pick is not in yet, according to the ticker. Keep in mind, Ryan Poles is the guy who likes to trade down.
Oh, seeing the pick is in now. Yes.
Yeah, I think it is in.
Yeah.
Yeah, pick is in. Yeah. They seem subdued in that room, but you can't judge a book by its cover, can you, Hal?
No, you cannot.
Because nobody was thrilled about this draft anyways.
Exactly. So nobody's at this point. Nobody's jumping up and down here. So you're coming in to pick your.
Yeah, so Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker, Peter Woods, Dylan Tiedemann, Caleb Lomu.
Yeah. Yeah, we basically started the second round at what, pick 20?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, very little difference from pick 20 to 60 5.
Yep, I would definitely agree with that, no doubt.
If it isn't Tiedemann, who do you think their pick should be? Keldrick Falk, T.J. Parker, or Peter Woods or Caleb Lomo?
Yeah, I wouldn't reach for Woods here. I think that's a little bit of a stretch for him. I like the idea, if not Tiedemann, go with Falk, get that edge rusher and somebody you can slide inside on passing down. So I think he'd be a good fit there for the Bears.
Yeah, and plus another tread with Ben Johnson. Yes, he does give it, but he likes super young players. And Keldrick Falk's only 20, going on 21.
Yeah,
Well, so is
pitcher.
T.J. Parker. So. Oh, the Bears did trade back. They traded back with the Texans. Good job, Ryan Poles. Great job, Ryan Poles. Excellent job.
Wow.
Whoa.
Hmm.
No, that was the Bills that traded back, not the Bears. My mistake. The Bears already traded there. God damn it, I have a short memory. The Bears were shaking hands in their room and they turned the pick in. My God. This draft is moving along so fast I'm losing track. Oh my God. But good job, Buffalo, to recoup some of that lost DJ Brown trade. Excellent work there, Buffalo.
Exactly.
And the Texans, I think they jumped the 49ers for either Caleb Lomu or one of the guards, Keelan Rutledge or Chase Bazantis. Most likely Rutledge, because Rutledge is a textbook Texan.
That makes sense for them, and definitely a position of need.
Yes. And even though left tackle was a need for the Bears, I don't think I'm not a big fan of Lomo. I want to reach for him here. Would you?
No, I agree. I'm not a big fan of him either. That's a heck of a tackle tax to be paying.
Especially his core strength. Oh my God, coming into the league, and plus if Dan Roche, they brought him in for a visit, and Dan Rochar, who's an excellent offensive line coach, by the way, probably said that. You know what? We don't trust this guy to get stronger.
Yep. Makes
or something
sense.
like that.
Yep.
Oh, so that's the 4th trade of the night. We have to drink to that. Good job, Buffalo.
Oh, yes. There we go. We're getting close to that over and under 5 trades here. Jeez. We talked about.
Oh, this was a more jubilant image of the Bears draft room. Yeah, much more jubilant. Ben Johnson giving Kevin Warren a high-five handshake. Here we go. What do the Bears do? Is it one of those 2 edge rushers we talked about? Is it Dylan Tiedemann, the Oregon safety? Is it Caleb Lomu? Is it Peter Woods? One of those. God, why did I think the Bears just traded out? Well, it's because this new draft format. We're moving like a freight train tonight.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. You saw the trade and we're like, woohoo, yeah.
We're only 2.5 hours in and we're already on pick 25. What a fast night.
Jeez.
Love it.
Oh, man.
Here's Roger Goodell with the Bears pick. Yeah.
With the 25th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select
Dylan Tiedemann! Excellent value! Great value there. Love the value. I give this an A. Don't you? He was the best player on the board. Ben Johnson, 2nd year in a row. Don't give a damn. Let's take a damn good football player. A. Don't reach on an edge rusher here. Take the best player. Bears did it again. A. You agree?
Great job. Great job of sitting right there. Straight A. You got the last top 15 player in this draft dropped right into your lap at 25.
And he gives Dennis Allen a lot of exotic looks in that secondary. Him and Kobe Bryant together.
That's perfect. Turn that safety position
My buddy
into
Jacob
a strength overnight.
My buddy Jacob Infante's doing cartwheels now. Tiedemann was the top guy on his wish list. And he didn't think he'd be available here. Nobody did. Everybody thought Tiedemann would not fall past the top 20.
Long gone. Yep. Yeah. exactly. I had him anywhere in the top 20. Go.
So the Bears. So let's see the best picks of the night. I really Bucks with Bain and the Bears with Tiedemann. I think are the two best value picks of the night so far.
Easily. Yep. Both of those picks, fantastic.
Absolutely. Oh, great job, Ryan Poles. This is what smart teams do. Don't reach for need.
Yep.
Just take a damn good player. That's what Ben Johnson
Exactly.
learned from Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell in Detroit.
Definitely. Take that top
Although
talent.
I guess a lot of people are going to complain about the Bears, which is true, but you got to keep in mind the difference in the edge rushers that'll be available when the Bears pick tomorrow night versus the ones that'll be able to now. There's no difference. None.
There's no difference at all. Again, we're into the second round.
Get your edge rusher tomorrow.
Yep. Like we said, the second round started with pick 20, and this was the only first rounder left on the board. So it's a great pick no matter what with Tiedemann, you know?
Oh, actually, the Bills traded back just 2 spots with the Texans. The Texans didn't trade from in the third. God, no wonder I'm losing track.
Yeah.
And Buffalo also traded
28.
The 49ers trade down with the Dolphins. Dolphins are now picking at 27, and the 49ers are picking at 30. And this was smart. Niners, they don't have their third round pick due to the offseason trade. They need to add more capital. So we got 5 trades tonight. It was actually more.
We got it. Wow. All right.
God, I thought of Dylan Tiedemann to the Bears once the Panthers passing him at 19, I thought if he goes to the Bears, there's no way they should let him get past him.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely no way he should have gotten past them at all. And
yes. And
like I said, he's the last top 15 player on the board. You know, like he's the last real first round pick talent. So
yes, especially with Jermon McCoy and his knee injury, that flip-flop then. Yes, the consensus big board had Jermon McCoy a couple spots higher, but the NFL probably did it because of the injury.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I definitely have it. I mean, he's second round at this point.
So we got some moving and shaking here right now. The Bills traded 2 spots back with the Texans. Are the Texans targeting? I was like, although I wouldn't sleep on interior defensive line either. What if they want Peter Woods?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, they definitely need to get younger right in the middle of that defense. That's about the only weak spot.
Or the Niners will looking at edges and
makes sense.
Their body type.
Yep, exactly. Perfect fit there for them as well. Interior rusher on the outside. So let's see, 27 to 30.
Yeah.
The Dolphins gave up one of a million.
Yeah, and also the Bears weren't necessarily ignoring need here. They needed another safety on their roster. But the need met the value here.
Yep, exactly. Oh, definitely. Perfect. I mean, and like we said, I mean, they could definitely use the safety as well. So they had the need there.
Yeah, and Dennis Allen likes to disguise his coverages a lot.
Yep.
All
so
right, here's
with
the
that
Texans
coverage,
26. Who did
perfect.
they move up 2 spots to rob from the 49ers?
Ooh.
With the 26th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Keelan
Rutledge, it's the guard.
Here we go. It is Rutledge.
And the Niners had a needed guard too. So it's Rutledge.
Yep. All right. Yep.
I would give this a solid B plus. He's going to be he's a quintessentially considered guard. He's Logan Mankins-esque, similar body type, skill set. Caserio knows what he's doing when he selects these kinds of linemen.
And desperate need for Houston. We saw that offensive line betray them.
But just to a 2-year deal, signing Rasheed Walker to a 1-year deal didn't preclude the Panthers from getting Monroe Freeling. Signing Cam Lewis didn't preclude the Bears from getting Dylan Tiedemann. Just follow the board.
Yep. Follow the board. That great position of need. And
as good as
and I mean, they signed Wyatt Teller. You don't.
Oh, did the Dolphins probably leapfrog the Bills for Omar Cooper Jr.? Or could they look for
that
the
could
Bills,
be too,
or for a corner, maybe could it for a
corner makes a lot of sense too. Yep, definitely have a
edge.
need at
or
corner.
at edge. Bills are looking at edge.
Well, they got needs everywhere, but yeah, premium position.
Yeah,
you would
got
think
Kate
here
Krunch
with
here.
this
Kelvin
first
Falk
round.
would be good value here.
Yep, great value for him here.
Yeah, Rutledge, believe it or not, is the biggest reach on the Arifa Stock Consensus board. Here, he was the 59th rated player. The Texas got him 26. But here's the rub about consensus sports, folks.
Yeah,
Studies prove that while reaches are often reaches, steals turn out to be are rarely steals, if you know what I mean.
yep, exactly.
That is why the draft is anti-rocket science. You can
And
put
really,
all the
there was
numbers
so
and
much
analytics
talk
in.
of Rutledge being a first-round talent.
I guess the
I don't
NFL viewed
think-
him higher. And also keep in mind, the NFL's consensus board is probably different than the industry boards. The industry
Yep.
and the NFL sometimes disagree. And sometimes the
That's
NFL's proven right, sometimes the industry's proven right. It's an inexact science.
Exactly. I think there's a lot of teams that had Rutledge up there as a first-round pick, so I'm not surprised he's going off the board here.
Yeah. Absolutely. So Dolphins, a number of different ways they could go.
Yeah.
Jermon McCoy, I wouldn't take a bet on that guy, Steve. Falk would make
Nope.
Avion Terrell or Chris Johnson or Colton Hood, one of those corners, Omar Cooper Jr., TJ Parker, lots of possibilities here.
Yeah.
I really like Chris Johnson, though. If the Packers love Chris Johnson, as Jordan Reed reported, the Dolphins are going to love him too.
Right. Yeah. You know what? Actually, I just saw a mock the other day with that, them grabbing Johnson at 30. So if they think somebody's eyeing him, I could see them jumping up here.
Yeah.
That's somebody that definitely has been linked to Miami. Whoops. Pick is in. Not trading that.
Yep. Yeah, the tackle panic was real, wasn't it?
Yes, it definitely was. There's no doubt about it.
Offensive linemen have gone so far in the first round. 8, 6 tackles, 2 guards. We could see 2 more linemen, 1 or 2 more linemen easily in these remaining picks here.
Yep, without a doubt here. San Francisco, New England, definitely. Kansas City could still be looking at a tackle, no doubt about it.
Keep in mind the Kyle Whittingham connection, Andy Reid.
That's right. Ooh, good point. Ooh. Although, yeah, that Caleb Lomu drop down the boards.
Well, he's raw. He just
and
is.
that's it. Yeah.
Ahanator has been playing football for less time than Lomu, and I think Ahanator is even more polished.
Yes. Yeah, so Dolphins to Twins.
Yeah. Yeah, so we've had 5 trades, although, as Schefter reported, they were not going to be earth-shattering trades. They were going to be shocking position trades. It was a seller's market.
Exactly.
And
sure.
to the credit of all those teams, everybody's hanging out of that 2027 capital for a far more superiorly talented and deeper class next year.
Yep, definitely.
Here we go. Dolphins. Who do they get? Chris Johnson! Oh my God!
All right.
B plus. I like this pick better than Proctor. I really do.
I do as
really
well.
do.
I agree.
This is a tailor-made Jeff Hafley kind of cornerback. Playmaking corner that Jeff Hafley likes.
Yep, makes the plays. He's not the tallest. He's not the quickest. He's not, but he just gets his hands on the football repeatedly. That's his kind of guy.
100%. So Chris Johnson, this is very good value here. Johnson was the 34th player on Reef Assad's board. Dolphins got him at 27 in a trade up. Oh, the Bills were probably going to take him, I believe.
Bills or
And the Bills
Kansas
traded
City.
back again. The Bills, they overpaid for DJ Moore, so they're trying to get as many additional assets as they can. So the Patriots now jump the Chiefs. I think this could either be a wide receiver or a offensive lineman of some sort here. Or a corner. Keep in mind, Carlton Davis, you're about to pay Christian Gonzalez a market-setting contract. You got to make Carlton Davis expendable, so Colton Hood could be the pick here for the Patriots. It could be Colton Hood. It could be Caleb Lomu. It could be Keldrick Falk.
Yep. Falk could be definitely.
So 2 interdivision trades this year because they're so cheap that the boards are all mixed up. That's why we're having these trades.
Oh, man. Yeah, Patriots gave away one of their fourths, it looks like. Okay.
Is that that's our 6th trade of the night. We're over 5.
Got there. Oh, man. Hey.
Oh, my God. Rappaport, did Ian Rappaport just say that the Steelers were on the phone with Mekhi Lemon preparing to make the pick until they were unaware the Eagles jumped them to take him? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my
what
God.
a legendary story that would be.
Oh, man. All right. Patriots on.
All right, Patriots, offensive line, edge help, or corner, wide receiver, one of those 4 positions. Oh, Omar Cooper Jr. makes sense here.
Cooper makes sense, yep.
Oh, it's the tackle! Caleb Lomu, interesting. Lomu is more of a left tackle than right tackle, unless you want to move Will Campbell into guard, perhaps? Or do you think you can switch to right tackle? This is complicated. I'm giving this a C.
Yeah. I'm not sure what. I mean, I could see, getting somebody who's a traditional right tackle with Morgan Moses, 35 years old this year, but
it's the tackle panic and the tackle tax. Patriots probably fell prey to that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
They jumped the Chiefs for loan because they knew about the Reed Whittingham connection.
That's good.
But Omar Cooper Jr. is perfect value for the Chiefs here. Get Mahomes another weapon.
Exactly.
The offensive line, the tackle cupboard's bare. Get that last rated wide receiver. But that said, Lomu was 28 on Arif Hassan's board. Patriots got him at 28. Can't complain about the value, but I'm giving it a C still because I'm not the biggest Lomu fan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but you are going to have to put him in I think it might be ideal for him to sit this year and spend the whole year in the weight room. That is the only way this pick makes sense. Just learn behind Will Campbell, Morgan Moses, have him in the weight room all year long, getting stronger because his core strength is a big concern right now.
Yeah, and then, you either develop him on the right side, maybe you move Campbell to the right side next year. Who knows? And then you've got.
Oh, we're playing Freebird now. All right.
Oh, geez.
Out of the final 4 picks of the night, and it's not even 11 o'clock on the East Coast yet.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow.
Damn. I love this new format, Roger. Please stick with it.
Yes, this is great. Oh, gosh.
So that is offensive lineman number 9. So they said 8 to 10 linemen in.
That's a lot of linemen there. Yep.
But trenches all starts up there. But curious question. Speaking of linemen, do you think the Ravens made the right choice? Let's say the Ravens Ruben Bain wasn't on their board. Let's say the choice was between Ioane and Kenyon Sadiq. Do you think they made the right choice with Ioane over Sadiq?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, they were
Dar
determined
is more valuable than tight end It is.
Yes,
Guard is more
exactly.
valuable. And with the Sean Payton, Dan Campbell tree growing right now, guard is becoming increasingly important because those guys love guards almost as much as their tackles.
Yeah, and Baltimore needed that infusion of nasty up front. You know that was missing last year. Makes it a definitely gives them what they need on offense. Maximize the talent in the backfield.
Yeah, if the Eagles weren't reaching for the tackle, if Howie Roseman didn't like this tackle class based on how the board felt to him, then that tells me the Bears did something right by passing on Lomu.
Yep, exactly.
No offense. I think he can be a
Chad Graff at the makes sense. Chad Graff saying developing Lomu to be the right tackle is the plan for moving up and getting him.
Has to be. Keep him in the damn weight room this year, and Morgan Moses better get healthy. They better stay healthy and take whatever voodoo medication possible to keep him healthy.
But yeah, so that makes sense for the Patriots to get both tackle positions.
Actually, especially because their offensive line because their offensive line was manhandled in the Super Bowl. Even
that's right.
Dare I say, a guy with a Drew Brees adjacent ceiling in Drake May couldn't solve the riddles of that Seahawks defense behind that offensive line.
And I mean, even Denver, the Chargers. I mean, May was under fire the entire playoffs. You know, it wasn't just the Super Bowl.
Yes. Speaking of the Broncos, you could argue the Broncos might have been were probably a bonus injury away from making the Super Bowl, but they were not a bonus injury away from winning the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
They would have gotten beat by Seattle most likely, and it would have been a multiple score game. Don't you think so?
Anybody in the AFC would have gotten beat by Seattle or the Rams.
Yes, the NFC,
either or.
Far superior conference right now. Oh boy.
Yep.
The Jets have moved back in the first round as the 49ers have moved completely out. The Jets moving up from pick 33. Jordan Reed called this. Jordan Reed said, do not be surprised if the Jets end up with 3 picks in the first round without a quarterback. I think the Jets are taking Omar Cooper Jr. based on the buzz. The Chiefs were, the Jets were. And if Cooper was picked by the Chiefs, they wouldn't have traded up.
Yep, that makes sense. Yep.
And another interdivision trade with the Dolphins. Wow, my goodness. The jockeying here. Oh, my God. The boards are so different this year. That's why there's so much jockeying between division rivals. I hate to sound like broke, but that's exactly what's happening here. We're not going to see it happen again for a long time.
That is for sure. This is crazy. Woof.
Don't sleep on Stooks here. Oh, it's Woods, a future heir to Chris Jones. I'm actually going to give that a B plus. This is
that's
a good value play for it. And Todd McShay was right. The league came around on him. They believe that the 2024 version of him can still be unlocked. He had and keep in mind, Clemson changed D coordinators last year.
Yep, they did. So there was a lot of downplay.
He had to change his weight. And he gets to learn from a future Hall of Famer in Chris Jones. This is the perfect landing spot for him. I'll give it a B plus for that matter. What about you?
Yeah, B plus, solid. This is the right place to be taking him. Perfect fit. You count on that. They get their athletic inside rusher. Wanted and needed. Unlock the 24 version, and like you said with Clemson, there are a lot of guys that had off year last year in Clemson. It was not a pretty year in Death Valley, and so should be a great situation for Woods too to get in there and have Jones there.
Joe Cullen, that defensive line coach, knows how to develop guys. He just does.
Exactly. And the Jets only gave up a 5th round pick to move up. Is that right? Wow.
Seller's market, Sal. Seller's market.
Man,
it's an interdivisional trade. And yet the Jets the Jets traded up with the Dolphins to jump the Bills. And I think they jumped the Bills for Cooper because they were scared they were going to take Omar Cooper Jr.
Yeah, that makes sense. Woods, solid pick there for Kansas City, though, definitely. And Cooper makes makes too much sense here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to track the draft here on PFSN, just using the mock and for all 32 teams here. It's not letting me do the Jets trade up here.
Yes, and the fact the Chiefs saw Peter Woods, the fact that the Chiefs saw Peter Woods is better value than all the remaining edges here says something. These edges are second round
Yep.
edges, period.
Yep,
And-
exactly.
So the Jets, I would be shocked if this, or maybe it's another guard, perhaps like Chase Bezantis,
That
or
could be. They could use. Yeah, they
it could be
use
another.
the
It could
inside
be
help.
Colton Hood, who plays press man and
Yep.
who loves to play press man more than Eric Glenn. I think this could be Colton Hood. Colton Hood
Yeah,
or Omar Cooper
that
Jr.,
makes
one of those
sense.
two. Yeah. San Francisco now owns the first pick tomorrow night. They traded out twice. Good for them.
With the 30th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Omar.
It's Omar Cooper Jr.
Omar
Give it
Cooper.
an A.
There
Give
we
it
go.
an A.
Yep.
Darren Moose, you did an excellent job tonight. You made your offensively scarier, and you made a tough decision between Bailey and Reese, but you went for the fairway shot, which we can't fault you for. Great night for the Jets here. Omar Cooper Jr.,
Yep.
I give this an A. Don't you?
Straight A, and especially when you combine it with Sadiq as well at 16, and that's two quality pass catchers there to add to Garrett Wilson. That's exactly what this Jets offense desperately needed.
Absolutely. And now the Bills are on the clock. Edge, perhaps Keldrick Falk, maybe.
Yeah. Falk makes a lot of sense
or
for them.
Jacob Rodriguez.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, definitely.
Don't sleep. The Bills need help anywhere. Emmanuel Warren, Jacob Rodriguez make sense here as any edge.
Yeah, I
They make
agree.
sense.
Either or.
Yeah, the receiver cupboard is bare now. Don't reach there. And you could get your edge later. Get the best defensive player on your board, and if it happens to be Jacob Rodriguez, take Jacob Rodriguez here.
That's right.
Because the difference between this pick and the pick you traded away to the Bears, in all fairness, none. And
none
as we
at
said
all.
earlier, the
Exactly.
Bears were covered pass got edge in this round because the edges available tomorrow night are no different than the edges that went off the board recently in Malachi Lawrence and Akeem Messidor.
Yeah, I think Jacob Rodriguez, Chase Besantis here.
The Bills traded out again. The Titans are this is a trade-a-palooza. Jordan Schultz was right. This is a trade-a-palooza tonight. My goodness.
Yeah, everything after the 25th pick traded away.
I think it has to be edge rusher here. Keldrick Falk is that Robert Saleh body type.
Yep, that makes sense.
Edge, got to be edge rusher here. Keldrick Falk, TJ Parker, one of those two are Saleh body types because Saleh drafted Michael Williams last year. Keldrick Falk cut from the same cloth.
Yep, makes perfect sense. Whew, that is not a lot of capital.
Buffalo, I believe, traded down 1, 2, 3 times. San Francisco traded down 1, 2 times. Buffalo traded down thrice. Oh my God, it's a trade.
Oh, they got to be losing their mind up in Buffalo. Gosh.
But that tells you what they think of this class and how much they overpaid for DJ Moore and the state of their roster. They have to get as many bites at the apple as possible. Because if it wasn't for Josh Allen, that team would be crummy.
Yes.
That team would win just 5 games tops without Josh Allen. Don't you think so?
Yep. Oh, God. I mean, we saw it. And, it's the difference that makes. So so the move down 4 spots. Oh, my other laptop just died.
And the Seahawks could trade out too. But if the Seahawks keep the pick at 32, Jadarian Price out of Notre Dame is a name I've heard a lot. That running back, and NFL evaluators believe that running back class falls off a cliff after Price. Jeremiah Love's Irish teammate.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh, how many trades in a row we have? 1, 2, 3, 5 out of the past 6 picks have been trades. The Chiefs stayed put at 29. Wow.
Man.
That's 8 trades
And you
tonight.
got the Seahawks at 32, who everybody's
Wanna
been
move
talking
out.
about wanting to trade back. Yep, exactly.
Was the biggest eyebrow raiser draft Carnell Tate at 4, or the Chiefs trading up 3 from Nance or Delane, who they could have gotten 9?
I would
All
say
right.
Delane. I mean, a lot of people had Tate going high, but
All right, we shall see. I would say edge rusher here, absolutely. Salah loves feeding that defensive line. Got to go
that
defense
makes
here.
sense.
Edge rusher. Keldrick Falk or TJ Parker are the 2 seamless.
Before the Titans pick, congratulations, Houston, a record for the first night of the draft. 320,000 people here tonight.
Oh, he said Houston? It's Pittsburgh, Roger. Come on.
Yeah.
He's getting old. He said it's Pittsburgh,
Oh,
not
man.
Houston. Here we go.
2026 NFL draft. The Tennessee Titans select Keldrick.
It's Keldrick Falk.
There we go. Yeah.
You can see that
one.
coming from a mile away. He's a similar prospect
Yep.
as Michael Williams was last year. Typical solid body type. I'm going to give this
Yep.
a solid B because the upside is questionable. Because you typically prefer guys with more sack production in college, but he has the
Yep.
traits. He's very young and he's an NFL ready-made run defender. This is a straight B for me.
Exactly. And they didn't want to risk waiting around till the second round. Didn't give up a lot of capital with the
Yeah.
Bills. It looked like they swapped 66 to 69 and another pick swap. Third
Wow,
to the
I'm
fourth.
gonna
or
have to.
something. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to review all these trades tonight, man, because they.
Yeah,
were
exactly. They're just fast and furious
It
now.
was just exchanging bots. Oh my! If you think the seller's market's today, it's going to be cheaper tomorrow. Wouldn't you say so?
Oh man.
There'll be a
Oh
lot-
yeah,
this-
definitely. Oh.
Oh, a big sip for all the trades tonight. Oh my God! Hello.
Woo, crazy.
Keldrick Falk.
Yeah. And I would expect, again, trade back here for Seattle. Makes sense. Yeah, I think Tennessee probably thought Falk might go to Seattle, or I don't know.
Yeah. Mike McDonald loves those big husky edges too.
Yeah, he likes those big edges. They want to reload that depth there, so definitely makes sense for the Titans jumping up there. Get their guy. If Seattle stays at 32,
I wouldn't sleep on Jadarian Price. It's Jadarian Price or Colton Hood. They need a corner, or it's either one of those 2 guys. If I could guess,
that makes sense. Yeah.
TJ Parker might enter the fact because he's a similar body type as Keldrick Falk is. He's just as young.
I can see that.
Colton Hood, Zion Young.
Zion Young
too.
makes sense here too. Yep, that's a good one. Yep.
Oh boy. As light as this class was on star talent, it more than made up for it with entertainment.
That is for
We did
sure.
it. We had a
Fast and
Palooza at the tail end of the first because of the variance in boards. Brett Veach was on something. It just didn't happen early.
Yeah, I mean, so much. Yeah, nobody wanted to go up, and until it got to those. It was basically after the Bears pick, it was just about everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. Looks like Seattle.
Looks like they're keeping it. And keep in mind, Brady Henderson, as we said on our NFC West preview special, he said that he doesn't get the impression the Seahawks like this class. They don't.
Yep.
They clearly don't.
Yep.
And or there's somebody on their board they truly like now. Oh, Keldrick Falk was on hand in Pittsburgh this evening. Oh God, I can't wait for next year's draft on the National Mall already. I don't care where you are politically, but I think it's virtually a slam dunk that Trump speaks before the draft, and he has him, because he's going to ask the NFL to do it, most likely, knowing who he is.
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
Well, just Trump being Trump, as they say. So.
Exactly.
So, the Seattle Seahawks final pick of night one is in.
Seahawks have turned in their pick. Brady Henderson was out of something. They do not like this class. They said it lacks depth, and say,
Yep.
oh, we're content just picking in the first 3 rounds and having one pick later because this draft falls off a cliff. It's essentially UDFAs from like the late 4th on.
Yep, I agree. It's oof.
Oh, John Schneider, future Hall of Famer John Schneider, dare I say.
Yeah,
I think his case is
exactly.
as strong for a gold jacket as anybody,
Yep,
based on what he's done in his entire
Definitely.
career.
yep. No
Yeah,
doubt
Zion
about
Young,
it.
TJ Parker, those 2 edges. They could use Chase Bizantis, Colton Hood.
This makes a lot of sense. Yep.
Or maybe Jadarian Price is one to watch, though.
Price
Because
is
the running
yep,
back class
Price.
falls apart. Yep. And they need somebody to take over for their Super Bowl MVP, and the running backs they have in their roster right now stink. Well,
That
no offense,
is for
Charbonnet,
sure.
but Charbonnet might not come back this year.
Charbonnet's
He's
hurt,
usually
right? We
that
don't
bad.
know if he's.
Yeah.
Yep, we have no
And we
idea
got
when he's
another
coming back. Yet,
fan to announce this pick.
Oh,
Got to be. I think it is Jadarian Price.
yeah. Price
Because,
makes a lot of sense.
Bears,
Unless they want to grab the cornerback here.
Colton Hood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabe Akis is another sleeper here. The edge from Illinois.
Gabe
Another
Akis,
typical
yep.
body type. Yep.
The Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, who bravely battled a brain tumor.
Oh, another cancer patient. Brain tumor surviving
wonderful.
Seahawks
Great
fan.
job.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Final pick of the night. What a night it was. We're 30 minutes ahead of schedule because of this new format.
This is beautiful. Oh,
And the chance to take part in one of the most exciting moments in our league. Dylan, when you're ready, stage is yours.
Another Make-A-Wish kid. All right.
wonderful. Excellent.
Here we go. Yeah. Love it, Dylan.
With the 32nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select
Jadarian Price it is.
There it is. Yep.
It was a screaming need, and there's little difference. And this late in the first round's acceptable for running back. B.
Yep. Solid B here, no doubt. Got their guy.
Yeah, there's no way he would have lasted long tomorrow night, and the offers might not have been strong enough. And John Schneider knows what he's doing. This is a straight B to end the night. And so concludes the first round of the NFL draft. Let me pull up the NFL.com draft tracker here for a moment. Let's all right, let's go through this draft tracker. It's right here. And here it is. Fernando Mendoza, David Bailey, Jeremiah Love, the first shocker of the night that threw the draft off course. Carnell Tate going to the Titans at 4. Giants stole Arvell Reese at 5. The questionable trade up. Chiefs pass late. Sonny Styles falling straight to Commander's lap at 7. Jordan Tyson at 8. And then the tackle run started with Fowler and Maanoa. Nice pick, Jerry there. Caleb Downs, Kane Proctor, Ty Simpson, the shocker of the night.
Yeah,
with Marshall Yano likely getting his gold jacket in the near future. You take the potentially the next version of him in Baltimore. Ruben Bay Jr., arguably the steal of the night. Sadiq,
Yep.
Blake Miller, Caleb
Oh.
Banks, Monroe Freeman, Makai Lemon, Hanachor Messidor. So you get the picture, folks. I'm just mumbling to myself as I scroll up and down here. So, Hal, give me your 5 best picks of the night.
5 best picks. Washington, Sonny Styles, definitely. Giants, Arvell Reese,
Yep.
dropping into the laps. Tyneman, 25 for the Bears, a
Yep.
total steal right there. Love
Yep.
that pick. Definitely A+ there. And
obviously Ruben Bain at 15.
Bain at 15, definitely one of my favorite picks as well. And Jerry getting Caleb Downs at 11.
But following up with this typical reach of Malachi Lawrence. So.
Well, yes, and of course he couldn't have too much of a good thing, so he had to.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
strange pick of Malachi is one of the many strange picks here of the day as well. So
yeah, absolutely. What a night it was. And now we got the 49ers picking first tomorrow. Bills picking third tomorrow. Texans still there, but they did trade up from this spot. They traded up from 28 to get Keelan Rutledge. So we had 9 offensive linemen in the first round, 8 total trades. So I was going to ask to do a mock draft for the second round, but I'm all mock draft out because nobody could predict this thing. Nobody. And so
no,
Hal,
exactly.
So you mentioned the 5 the 5 best picks: Dylan Tiedemann, Arvell Reese to the Giants, Sonny Styles to the Commanders, Bain to the Bucks. And what about the 5th? I would say, believe it or not, and Downs to the Cowboys. What was your 5 best? What were the 5 worst?
The Cowboys.
5
yep,
worst.
Yep.
5 worst. Ty Simpson, number 1. To the Rams.
Ty Simpson, definitely. Ty Simpson, number 1. Caleb Banks going to Minnesota at 18, passing up on Tyneman. That was a head scratcher there. Definitely. The Chiefs with Delane at 6.
The trade. I like the player. I hate the trade. It's not the player.
I like the play. Right. Yeah. Exactly. Cowboys, Malachi Lawrence. Well,
typical Jerry Jones reach.
Yep. And total reach there as well.
And
yeah, I mean the other.
Let's see what
see
other.
If I had to pick a,
I would actually say Concepcion because he's not complimentary to Jerry Jeudy.
Right, Concepcion, yeah, definitely.
Or Proctor at 12. I think the Dolphins should have
Proctor was a bit of a reach there. Yep. Yeah, Proctor at 12 or Carnell Tate going at 4.
Yeah.
It was kind of a stretch too. So.
Yep. And I guess we should call it a night now, Hal. And once again, he is Hal Bent, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow him on X at HalBent01 and follow his Facebook page, which is bostonsportpage.com. And he and I will be back within come July when there's trading camp. So all I'm doing for the rest of the summer is going to record 2 post-draft episodes, and then I'm on break till trading camp starts in late July. So thank you all who tuned in to this fun night of a draft, one of the most fun nights I've ever had doing this thing. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So for Hal Bent, this is David Cromwell saying so long. And as usual, choose love, choose kindness, choose compassion, choose empathy, choose selflessness, and all the good qualities that make the best teams in sports and the best people in the world who they are. So signing off from Palm Springs, California, and from Boston, Massachusetts, folks. Until next time, cats, kittens, stay cool.